Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, good morning, good noon, I suppose it's possible for some of you. Welcome to Doors and Deities, the premiere live action Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition live stream here on Twitch Wednesday evenings at 7:30. Um, Presented by Table Quests. If you like what you see here, which we hope you will, you can check us out on all our other social medias, which you can find either in the chat, in various descriptions of various kinds, over on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, etc. You can find us at Table Quests or at Table Quests RPG. Consider joining the Discord, which I believe should be linked in the chat as well. If you want to come hang out with us, I think there's someone who posts trains in the art channel. If you want to see model trains or just chat with us, whatever, we would love to see that. Love to see you there. And of course, as always, if you really, really enjoy what you see, you can drop us a follow, drop a subscription. That would mean quite a lot to us. If you have Amazon Prime, you have a free 1 month Twitch sub. If you could throw that our way, that would be lovely. I believe that's all of those. Thank you to Syrinscape for the use of their sound library for the lovely noises that you can hear that aren't our voices or anything else we do or say, any sound effects we may make. Everything else, Syrinscape. As well as to animated dungeon maps on Patreon for the lovely 3D animated battle maps that you can sometimes see on our channel. We used one of those last week for a foreshortened battle that you can go check out on YouTube. I think that went up yesterday. If you need a quick refresher, as well as to Midjourney AI for the creative use of their service. As you can see on this, I don't know where I am in relation to the screen, actually. I think it's up there somewhere. The lovely salt encrusted raven that is being shown there. Sorry?
Nothing, just as you said that, I was switching over to the character video in the middle.
Very good. All right. With that uproarious laughter, is there anything anyone would like to say? Any comments, shoutouts, thoughts, corrections?
We're gonna die.
That's entirely up to you. Last week, with Lyra still in fitful sleep from which she could not be awakened as the result of her vision coming from elsewhere beyond the plains, everyone else woke up with dry, salty mouths, water being drained from their various vessels, sound of something strange in the air. Headed outside to try and find the source of this, finding that one of the statues that had been burned to the Raven Queen had been supplanted by a salt statue-like entity of a raven that, when touched, violently awoke and began to attack you. And now quickly banishing it from this plane back to the negative energy plane from whence it came. Sound persisted, and you all followed it to another site at the edge of Chillhaven, where you found that there was another statue, this time of a desiccated woman with a strange hollow pit where her stomach should be. In front of that statue was another smaller figure of a man bearing a male's face, arms stretched wide, being pulled in different directions. Chipping away at the structure of the larger statue, you found some strange, soft, grayish blue metal that, when Amnail's sword bit into it, attempted to yank him through to a different plane. As you found after Desiel identified it, once the magic on it was dispelled and it was taken out of the statue, as you discussed what all you were going to do with it. And as we come back in. As we ended last week, Lyra, you awaken from your disturbing dream. Kind of an acrid taste in your mouth. Everything feels very dry, and the skin on your hands cracked as you're pulled out of the bag of holding. It's late at night. As you look around, you see, I believe it was Desiel who had pulled you out of the bag.
Tempest.
Tempest, right? Desiel there holding it as he now closes it shut. Omen and Amnael are there as well, and next to them is a crumbled white statue.
Hello.
You're awake. That's positive. That's an improvement over the last time you were in this bag. Sorry, it's very stressful out here. We fought a giant salty bird thing. Now there's statues here, and Desiel wants to touch a marble that's gonna take us straight to death. Fast lane.
No, this is not true. It will not take any of you anywhere. Unless you choose to touch it, of course.
This is all real, right? I'm not still dreaming or dead again.
Well,
I slap her.
where have you been,
Oh,
Juno, for
okay.
the last few hours?
Oh gosh, okay, I saw... I saw Parland. Yeah. And, my sword was there too.
Omen
But that's
just
not important.
slowly looks over to Tempest.
It doesn't matter though. What he
Interesting.
said was important. He warned me that Parland was close. That... Shar? Do you guys know a Shar?
Yes. No person, but yes.
I saw him in this place. It wasn't real, it felt like. It was so weird. But anyway, he was working on something and he's trying to bring her back or something. My sword said he could feel her coming back again, but she's supposed to be gone. And she doesn't sit on the throne anymore. And tonight may be the night she cracks through. I don't know what any of it means. But something will happen across the world. It may be small, but it will only be the first.
So your sword warned you to help us. I'm gonna look at Omen.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Lovely. What is your relationship with the sword?
It's complicated. Did anything happen while I was sleeping?
Salty bird, as Tempest said, yes. And then
So much salt.
a lot of salt.
It's like something sucked all of the... Desiel, hold on, explain it like a smart person. Something sucked all the water somewhere.
Oh, yes. Essentially, large things were being summoned to this plane from elsewhere, from the plane of negative energy, I believe. And so, when the things came into this plane, large amounts of water went into the other plane. So, like if things get extremely dry, the liquids were missing. Was a sign that something had been summoned very nearby, something large.
Drew, if I look up at the moon, what moon phase is it? Is the moon empty?
It is a new moon.
It's a new moon.
You can just barely see a silver sliver around the outside.
I'll just kind of look up at the moon and just, like, say to myself, like, empty moon. Shar.
Did your sword say something about the moon, or have you? In your
No,
new...
he said.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, in your new source of your powers or whatever, does that come from the moon by any chance?
Who's to say? But he just said something about the empty moon and Shar's hollow. And Parland is reaching to her through the gaps. And tonight might be the night she cracked through. So the moon controls the water, right? That's a thing. So maybe the water... I know you said it has something to do with things coming to planes. But maybe it has something to do with the moon too. I don't know what any of this means.
When she says, who's to say, I kind of glance over at ML. Do I believe, like, what was her reaction? Her instinctual reaction to, do your powers come from the moon?
Make an insight check. $20.
This is an insight to my facial
This is
expression?
insight to you, yes.
Yes. When you said who to say, were you being deceptive or hiding anything at all?
Can I make a roll or I just have to say?
Either deception or persuasion.
Yeah, she's holding something back. It's very obvious. Because with a 20, you would know that this probably isn't the time for that discussion.
But when he asked her if her powers come from the moon, like, was there a look of, like, essentially yes? Like, do I feel like she's lying when she was like, who's to know? Who's to say? Like, he can recognize, sure, that this isn't the time, but I'm just wondering if he also...
Yeah, it's not so much lying, it's more of like Lyra pretty much knows as well as she can know. You know what I mean? It's not like she's trying to be deceptive. It's like, I think it's not from the moon, it's from something else, but I'm not 100% sure.
All right.
It's just like a
But
theory.
she doesn't think it's from the moon.
No.
Okay.
And John, you're a little bit quiet on stream. Just so you know.
All right, thank you. Let me know if that improves.
So what do we do? 'Cause like, it's all well and good for the sword to be like, this lady Shar is gonna go out tonight, but like, what's our response meant to be like to that?
Okay.
What's the recommended path of action here? Like the emergency exit plan,
Well, so Shar is... Well, are you familiar with Shar, Tempest? And when it comes to the gods and planes and whatnot. You seem to have a leg up on me. I just happen to know this one.
the negative energy plane was clearly not my thing of
Okay. Oh, yeah,
expertise.
that's right.
Okay,
Okay.
I spent a lot of time reading on the Feywild.
Yeah, I forgot what you heard. So
I think I rolled like a 4.
Yeah, that's right. So Shar was, I mean, fuck, I don't know now. One of the goddesses of the moon, which is why I asked when you were looking up at the moon. She essentially wants to be the matron of death, and I believe the sword, the sword, the Anguish Ruin, was, well, it's been called, one of these nicknames is Shar's Folly. So perhaps she, well, at the very least, was involved in making it so that she could kill the Raven Queen, so that she could become the Raven Queen. Is more or less my understanding.
She made my sword?
She was involved in its creation. I will say that much. I mean, I don't know. I was not there, but I do know from, yes, essentially the whispers of the universe are that she was involved in its creation.
And how do you listen to these whispers?
Very carefully.
Wow, good ears.
I So you work for the Raven Queen, or you are somehow tied to the Raven Queen.
Yes.
How do you feel about the other gods?
Well, I guess that depends on the tie to those gods to the Raven Queen, I suppose.
Like, there are gods that have been weakened. Uh, I mean, your matron would be the goddess of death. Uh, like, how do you feel about the Near?
What would Omen know about Denier? Would he know anything?
Omen would know of him as a god that the Raven Queen considered beneath her, which is not unusual. That was most of them. Mostly just ambivalent of he's out there, not my problem.
She. I guess I know of him. There's no real connection there.
So, if perhaps he was weak, would you wish him harm, or think it would be in good service to her to finish him off, or try and stop anyone who was interested in helping him regain his former abilities?
I don't think she would think that.
Jew.
No.
Jew.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Do I want to kill a god? Is that what you're asking?
Or inconvenience. Would you like to see the near no gain in power? Let's say that. Like, if you had in your hand the ability to influence whether or not he became more powerful or less powerful.
Well, I don't know. Just. I don't suppose I know him that much, so I don't know if I want to or not. Is he bad?
No.
Then probably not.
I mean, how many gods are involved in this whole thing anyway? Because so far we've got 3 death-related gods, and Denier, who is only involved because he knows names of people or something, and his name is somewhere, and names are somehow important in this whole mess. Like, who else is gonna, is it just the death people, or do we have to start worrying about everyone? I just, like, at what point does it get to the scale where, like, we can't really do anything? Like, what do we do?
Amnel looks up from the statue and just says to Tempest, "Well, don't forget about Lady Luck. Clearly, she has a vested interest in this."
Oh, right, I forgot. Everyone has a god.
How many
So-
gods are there?
That is a very good question. How many gods are there? 400.
That is a very good question. You know of the 6 who were involved in the blessing, and of numerous others. Several of the death gods, but I don't think you've spent much time looking into theological hierarchy.
This is right. how far are we gonna go in this? Like, we're not gods. I mean, how are we gonna do anything about this? Like, I mean, I know I joked about it kind of that one time, but maybe, like, about gods having parents or something, but, like, I don't know, is there a way to, like, call a council of gods and be like, hey, guys, there's a really big problem here, gods
Sort
are
this out amongst
dying.
yourselves.
I mean, we can help, but, like, how? Like, just give us a direction, some guidance. I mean, so far it's been cryptic and unnecessarily cryptic. You think if they would want our help, they would be a little bit more, like, less vague of just like, you know what, here's the plan of action we need from you. Please help us if they needed our help, because I'm with Tempest. I don't understand how we are gonna solve any of this. Like, Shar's coming back, and somehow we're supposed to stop her from killing your god Amniel, and if my god is already not dead, saving her. I mean, how?
We can really deal with Holland. Like, he's human-ish. Elvin? What was he again? He's evil. That's the point.
He was Elven.
He is, as far as we know, mortal.
Well, now I do have something to show you, Lyra. You've been a bit of a rush before, after you came out of the bag of holding. But yes, I actually would say that although yes, cryptic, I would argue we do have guidance and counseling. I don't know about you, but I didn't have these weird dreams before I met you. I didn't used to have messages which seemed to relate to things that were happening around me. So yes, cryptic, surely, but given the state of both the Umbra Lord and the Matron, and of Denier, there is clearly a lack of ability to be more specific, not a lack of intent. But also, if you do want to see a deja vu, look at that. And I pointed the statue that's on its knees.
I will go over to the statue, and is it look like the same positioning of?
Yep.
Okay.
You don't see the
Oh.
chains that are holding it, but
This is this is exactly what I saw before I came to you guys.
What does that
I was
mean, Lord?
afraid so.
He was in trouble, and he was saying that the shadows still hold, as if he were the ones holding the shadows together.
Why does he have Amniel's face?
He said he can call upon his followers for help.
Oh man, they did ask us to help.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of look up this guy and be like, well, if anyone else wants to help out, we're accepting offers, boons, gifts, helpful pieces of advice.
Omens.
Those two.
Tom, was Omen... I rolled a 14 insight. Was Omen being honest? Or do I believe he was
Yeah.
being honest?
Yeah.
The other statue, I don't remember from watching the session. Did it have a face or no?
it did.
Okay.
You can see part of it, like from the jaw down now, it has been smashed apart to kind of hack through and get at the center. But it's not. It's very desiccated and thin and skeletal. There isn't much to differentiate it.
Okay.
It's not any particular face.
I didn't want to do this in such a rush, but
It's fine.
that's that is
Fine.
fine.
It's fine.
I do have a thing that I could try, but no promises on its efficacy.
I also want to try something, but you first.
Well, my thing takes a while, and if we are not going to go to sleep, that is probably a terrible idea.
Would Omen know of any of the other ceremony spots?
There were 3 that you know of.
And where
One of
would
which
that?
one of which you passed, excuse me, on the way back to the inn, which kind of was, there was something on it, but wasn't, nothing had developed. There was the Raven, and there was this one. Apart from that, you don't really know of any other major of these rituals.
Okay.
There may have been other, like, smaller private things had, but you wouldn't have known of any of those.
Okay.
I want to. You guys pointed out to me in the middle of the statue at this point of like the egg ball thing.
Although that
Yeah.
has been removed now, right?
That has been removed.
Have I
Okay.
got that correct?
We
And
we
then
have
it,
we have not yet removed it. No,
that's
Oh,
right.
we're still hanging out near it.
We
You
didn't
were
want to touch
debating
it,
where to
right?
put it. That's right.
Mm.
I want to cast. Hold on, sorry. Where did it go? Did where is it? Hold on, sorry.
Eldritch Blast.
No, ghostly
Eldritch.
gaze, and it allows me to see through solid objects. So I want to see if there's anything inside of Amnion's statue. And I also want to look at the orb too, but first Amnion's statue and then the orb.
Amnail's statue is empty.
Okay.
It seems like it's more a thin crust of this material that's just kind of formed a shell. The orb is the same throughout. It is a solid piece of material.
I just probably won't do anything, but can I look up at the moon?
You can look at the moon, yeah.
It's just the moon.
I don't think that ghost gaze has a range of hundreds
Oh
of
no, you're
thousands
right.
of miles.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, cool. Anyways,
Wait, what does she say when she looks at us? I'm so curious.
I mean, skeletons and musculature.
You have X-ray vision?
yeah. And you guys just are seeing like my eyes are just like bright, reflective, and so I'm just like looking at all of you and at the statues and stuff, and just there's nothing in this one. That one, I'll point to the orb. It's just an orb.
An orb that eats magic or sends it to the negative plane.
To Char's domain.
Cool. So really, it could just be like siphoning things to her. I guess throwing more spells at it's probably not a good idea. Like I could try breaking it with magic.
I would not recommend doing that just yet.
Yes, because you want to touch it.
If I wanted to touch it, I would have touched it. Drew, was there something said about the hollow one? Like specifically that phrase last week? I don't remember.
Apart from after identifying the orb, don't believe so.
Okay.
Because there was the identification of the orb, the body of the hollow one, but nothing in character.
That's right.
Or nothing within roleplay.
Okay. But oh, there it is. Body of the hollow.
I think no matter what, though, whatever happened tonight, this is only the first, though. There will be more.
Yay.
Yes, but the question is it more important to find out if Char has been released, reborn, reformed, or to know if Parland has escaped?
I don't know. I'm worried to see your face here in front of us.
Oh, I don't love it either. But I'm trying to compartmentalize that, and I'll deal with that later.
Okay.
Before I deal with that, I do have a thing that I could try.
Now, Amnael
But I think, yes.
cast Dispel Magic on the orb itself, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. The one that we're at now. So there wasn't a thing back at the bird. There was no anything that we
There was
okay.
banishment, but nothing with that.
Okay. Yeah.
There was a thing at the bird which exploded in our faces. That one.
Gotcha. Okay. That's right.
Well, if I
Yeah,
knew it
so-
could have taken
smashed
us
it up.
to the negative energy plane, I wouldn't have touched it, would I? Probably. Maybe. I probably would have touched it anyway.
So your efforts to dispel this thing are temporary at best. There is a deep magic within it. It is known more or less as could be called the body of the Hollow One, the body of Shar, who, when defeated, essentially became negative energy.
What does that mean, negative energy? What does a negative energy plane even mean?
Okay, so there are
Everyone's
planes
really
of
sad.
energy, right? Elemental energy. There's a plane of fire, and there's a plane of air, and the water, and earth, and like planes of these are the different types of energy, essentially.
Okay.
And I don't know. It's difficult to describe.
Would Amnel have any knowledge about how the positive and negative energy planes work?
Beyond the basic structure of they kind of sit
At the top and
outside
bottom.
the other elemental planes at, as you say, polar opposites to one another. Descriptions of what positive and negative energy are, not so much.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
So
I can tell us more about this thing in the morning. Like, perhaps we stay out here this evening. Make sure
I
no
just in the middle
children
of the street.
run across it. No, not just in the street. We stay in the dome.
a dome.
Yes. My familiar, Eddie, is himself from another plane, and there are a number of things he has been able to do for us, and one of them is to create a protective shelter.
Wow. Hmm.
He's like,
Do we want to at least try to move it somewhere that it's not going to get so much attention?
I don't think out here he's going to get much attention. It's not like, I mean, we left like we are outside the town, right, Drew?
You're on the very edge.
The very edge. How populated is it? I know it's already midnight, so. But does it seem like during the day it would be a well-trafficked area?
Not particularly.
I mean, I could have if Eddie camouflages in not so much where he looks like himself, but I could make it a black dome or a green dome. Try to blend in with the surroundings.
I mean, mean, I don't mind standing guard, too, if you guys are gonna use your brains, and I can just scare people away if they come too close.
I mean, inside we are safe, but Jeff?
Yeah. But we're gonna stay trapped in a dome.
No, nobody's
An
trapped.
enclosed dome. No. I'm with this orb.
I mean, nobody
We're all
has
gonna
to.
share space.
I mean, can we cast it around the orb? Is the orb just gonna go nom 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 and eat the spell?
I don't know. You should know. But nobody has to stay in the dorm, in the dome. I mean, we can sleep outside around the dome. Like it's nice weather. You can stare up at the moon all night.
I'll probably stay outside and keep guard just in case the orb decides to, I don't know, eat you guys all in your sleep, and then I can just find the negative plane somehow, some way, I don't know. Bring you back.
Anybody is welcome to stay inside the dome or outside the dome.
I don't like it, but I don't like any of this, so... What's new, I guess?
Is it kind of a grassy area that we're in right now, Drew? Or like what are the surroundings like? Okay.
It is a slow, easy slope of grassy hill.
Alright. I will sit down and begin casting the dome. Which as it forms, initially it's like a spider, and then webbing forms a dome between its legs, and then tonight the whole thing just kind of turns into a grassy green.
Okay.
I will be staying
Well-
here inside the dome. Oh, the orb is inside the dome. Does the dome work?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I will be staying here inside the dome. You're welcome to sleep inside, outside. It's up to you. But I do need some rest. We were awakened like halfway through the evening.
I'll join you in about 15 minutes. I just want to breathe some air.
Okay.
I'll get up and I'll walk, because it's like almost like a little block right where we were. It's like an opening in the street, correct?
Where you guys are now?
Where where the statues are.
Okay, so it's basically at the end of the roads at the corner of town.
Gotcha.
The road kind of swoops around, and on one side there's this area, and that road kind of forms the border of downtown.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not gonna stray far. Maybe like 60 to 100 feet away from where the dome is, and I'll pull out some incenses, my old holy symbol that I had on the sword, and I'll start preparing a ritual. And I'm going to ritually cast divination.
Okay. Would you
Let's
mind
see.
popping that through into the chat, please?
Attempting to. Let's see if it's gonna do what I tell it to. But basically is your magic and offering put you in contact with a god or a god servant. You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The GM offers a truthful reply. The reply might be a short phrase, cryptic rhyme, or an omen. Haha, lol. The spell doesn't take into account any possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as the casting of additional spells, loss or gain of an ally. If the spell is cast 2 or more times, it has a 25% chance of not working.
All right. What is your question?
You're
We can't
muted.
hear you. We can't hear you. Oh no.
Oh no.
Like someone who can lip read. Ah! At the worst possible time.
The gods don't want us to have answers. I knew it.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
there we go.
Yes, again.
Yay.
See, he
Okay.
meant to cast divination, but he did the ritual wrong.
Silence?
He accidentally cast silence.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to ask to whatever entity that I'm in contact with, is Char's presence being felt? Effectively, has she can whatever I'm contacting sense her presence?
You feel emanating from your holy symbol. You kind of feel this weight that starts in your hand as you clutch the symbol and then travels up your arm onto your shoulders. It sits, and you're gonna. The suddenness and the force drives you to your knees. And you hear echoing out. She looms. Innovation at the edges. Cracks in the shadow. Not a quiet undeath. And the weight lifts.
I will take a moment to recompose. Do I just see Lyra staring at me from outside the dome?
No, I would have found a tree and given you a moment, and I'm just kind of like sitting there, I don't know, staring at the moon.
Hmm. I will walk towards Lyra, and I'll hit her with my sword.
Actually, well, just quickly, Lyra,
Yeah.
would you mind making me a perception check, please?
Oh my god.
So
Why do I
bad
hate this
news.
already? Okay. Okay.
As you're just staring at the moon, or really the empty space where the moon would be, you see what looks like a shooting star. And cut across it for a moment.
Do wishes on shooting stars exist in this world?
Yeah, of course they do.
I make a wish.
What is your wish?
But you were here.
Hey, check us out Saturday.
Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Hey,
Don't be
shameless
late.
plug.
We'll see you there.
I see the shooting star and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to make a wish fast. And then I close my eyes and I just think of Lyra's greatest desire and realize that that's not possible. So she just wishes for her sword to find peace.
As you open your eyes and look back, you see Amnael walking towards you.
Oh, shooting star.
Those are quite rare, I imagine.
Yeah, I made a wish. So, I don't know, maybe if one of the gods who wasn't, busy dying or disappearing or whoever what might be nice enough to
Forgetting
grant
their
it.
names.
Forgetting their name. Hey, gods have a lot of problems these days.
Yeah, can relate to that. Hmm. So I feel like we should discuss this a bit. I'm just gonna throw a few words your way, and if any of it makes sense to you, could you please let me know? Just like a quick little wordplay type of thing.
Oh yeah, okay. She gets like really serious and like sits up. All right, I'm ready. Shoot.
I'll give you one sentence at a time, okay?
Okay.
And pretend I have a really cryptic, deep, raspy voice, and I'll cast thaumaturgy to make my voice sound really deep and raspy. Not
Oh,
boom it.
nice.
Not shoot. Actually, no, I'm
Okay,
not
I
gonna
like it.
cast thaumaturgy because I don't have thaumaturgy anymore. Um, to John's chagrin, I will just say, um, innervation at the edges.
Escape.
Nope. Okay. Cracks in the shadow.
Shadows hold.
That probably is related. Not a quiet undeath.
You see, she goes really serious at this. Um, that might mean something to me.
Um, so I attempted to contact a few, trying to get in sync with the energies of the world, because clearly, as we found out, being able to peer into the future or at least into other people's spaces is terribly useful. Parlin did use it against us a bunch of times. So I've been trying to work on something. Uh, this was my means of attempting to discover if Shar was back. The answer that I got is that she is looming, which either she has not been fully released yet or she's very into weaving. And I really don't think it's the latter.
I don't know why, but I just have a feeling she isn't here yet either. I think that lines up. I think if she was here, she would want
It
to
would
be
have been
known.
bigger.
Yeah. I think somebody who's wanting to be the matron of death her whole life, when she finally gets what she wants, she's gonna make a show of it.
I don't know. That's actually. I mean, the matron didn't do that when she ascended.
Wait, Amnio, what would happen if a god died?
I'm sorry?
What would happen if a god died?
That is a good question. The most that I have of even some sort of comparison to that is what happened to the matron's predecessor. And as far as I know, they just become forgotten, lost to time.
But what if there's nowhere to hold them any longer? Like no afterlife for them to go to even be forgotten to? Because Amnio, death is not how it was before. It's. You don't just die. And if a god were to die, maybe we could get them back because there's no place for them to go right now. Because if your god is the one holding the shadows together, then I don't think the Raven Queen is around anymore.
Do you think she's dead already?
I think so. And I think that's why Shar is trying to break free from wherever she is so that she can be the matron of death, but you're God. Like I said, you're God and the Raven Queen. They must be besties. I told you, death, hobbies of death bring gods closer together. And so he's helping her out until somebody can fix this mess. Oh, God.
Consider yourself a best friend with your boss.
Are they boss and employee? I mean, I feel like they're partners. I mean, if you're gods. You might be biased in this. I'll go ask the gray
It's
guy
the
later.
other way around, darling.
Oh, really? Wow. Power move. Okay. But then that definitely would hold true because if his boss is missing, of course he's gonna like really try to keep it together so she has a job when she comes back.
Yes. I have theories as to where the displacement of a god would go in the happenstance that it were to die. Unfortunately, we have about a grand total of 0 ways of putting that theory to the test because it is a place that is so difficult to enter or to go to, and that would probably be very, very dangerous to go there. But I don't know. I think there is a difference, and I can't. I don't know, but I think there is a difference between feeling like your deity has been weakened and the feeling that it is gone. And I think you would have felt it, or anyone would have felt it. You, Omen, the priests that were here earlier.
But that's what I mean. Maybe when she died, she didn't just vanish like most gods do. She's like being held somewhere. Drew, you said that once I came back to and I showed them who I saw when I was a snaky snake. Did we know who that was that I saw, right?
When
The
you
man.
I believe because you didn't get a clear look.
Right.
So the best you would have been able to give them is the description. Right, like kind of black and purple clothing, armor, etc.
Do you remember how I told you about who I saw when I was dead?
Yes.
What if they weren't searching just for any souls? What if they were searching for the Raven Queen? What if her soul got displaced? Do gods have souls?
Probably.
Okay. So what if her
The
soul got
matron
displaced?
specifically probably has quite a strong one. I mean, she is the one who watches over the veil. That is a good point, good question. And unfortunately we have very little way of trying to find that out. Um Yep, that is a difficult question to try to ascertain. Um, I, uh, I don't know. Do you think she might have been thrusted into another plane, into the body of something, into a thing, a statue, an object, a chest?
I mean, I think everything we know about death doesn't apply here right now. And I think why else would she not be able to contact anyone unless she was trapped in some form where she can't? I mean, when I was trapped, you have no control. You're a prisoner. So even if she wanted to reach out, even if she, she's a god, when you're trapped in something, you have no choice, no power. But I don't know. Maybe this means nothing. I could be completely wrong, but I don't know.
I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I'm just trying to think what we would have a very short list of suspects for who could entrap the matron of ravens. And suspecto numero uno is somewhere in the multiverse getting stabbed by your old dear friend. So that leaves us with a quiet, sneakily left out Char, Karkath, or some other evil fuck that's being unkempt by us so far, or unnoticed. Am I missing anyone?
I mean, there's a lot of people. I don't know. I don't know how any of this works. This is way too big for me to even understand, and I don't know. Maybe everybody's just searching for her, because I feel like if it was easy to find a soul, she would have been found by now, at least by your god. I don't think his first reaction would be immediately to, and I'll kind of like nod over to where the statue is. I mean, if she's dead, that's, I think, our greatest hope, is that somehow she's trapped somewhere where no one knows where she is, so that maybe someone can save her.
Yeah. I think maybe the reason he hasn't looked is because he had to take her place.
Yeah,
He couldn't leave the veil unattended.
it's true.
And it honestly almost seemed, by what you told me, that he was being kept there. He couldn't really divide his attention.
I mean, I don't know if gods can feel pain, but I imagine if they can, I mean, I don't want to, like, burden you with this, but, sorry.
It's fine. I mean, in terms of things that grant us power being difficult to talk to, you're pretty much the only person who can understand what I feel at this current moment. But also, I think a very important distinction that hasn't been made yet, but I would like you to know that I have that very clear in mind. There's a very big difference of what your sword was and who your sword was. And although I trust very little on what it was, if you trust who it was, then I trust it too.
Thank you, Emil.
I've been meaning to give this to you since we found each other. And I'll pull out the sword that I was hitting the statues with, and I'll just put it in the soil. And it's been attached with a few other things. The handle of it, instead of just bland leather, it has pink leather. It's been very badly scrawled on with two eyes, trying to imitate googly eyes. On the blade itself, about halfway into the blade, which, mind you, it's a long sword, it's not a short sword, but we do what we can here. It's been scrawled with like ink, random ink, almost seemed like it was drawn with a finger, almost like a crack in the middle. And in the little dangly chain where it used to be a medal of Kelimvor is now a medal to the Raven Queen that I have purchased here in Chillhaven.
Lyra will just see the sword and immediately just like hug you. I missed you.
Missed you too.
Well, I'm just like kind of back away and sit down on the ground with my new sword. I'll be on guard out here, me. If you want to go into the tent, Eddie tent, I don't know. Okay, bye.
Before you get away from the hug, I'm just gonna cast Death Ward on you. If you're gonna spend the night out there, you'd probably need the protection. And this, actually, ironically, which is actually a good point. I will try to recreate, or at least have like a faint, a translucent version of the armor that I saw that Envoy from my dreams have. Basically, that like plate armor, the black and purple plate armor he had. Is that in any way similar to the one that Lyra saw?
Yes, it is. Quite similar.
Oh yay, delicious.
Hey, this is what he was wearing.
Oh dear.
Who is it?
Oh. Okay. Remember the dude in my dream? Like, oh, were you? And I catch myself in the middle of my sentence, and I'm like, ooh, okay. So I had this dream where Kelimvor was at like a field at the edge of a forest, something like that. Or something was there, and it was a man, broken neck, silver hair. And he was wearing this armor. Let's just say he guided me in the moments that I needed it.
Okay. Well, thank you. Just screaming into the sky, whoever you were.
Yeah. Talk to you later. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. I'll be here. Bye.
I'll go into the dome.
By that time, Desiel is sound asleep at the base of the statue.
Okay.
Having cast multiple fireballs. Tempest and Omen just charred bodies.
Actually, I don't know if Tempest and Omen are even inside the
Yes.
dome
So
or outside.
what are Tempest and Omen doing during all of that?
Omen is about to go up to the dome, and he'll put his hand against it to see if he can get through first.
I presume, Desiel, you would have had everyone be in at
Yeah,
least
they had
for
to
the
be at-
moment of
yeah.
casting.
Would
So
Omen
that-
have agreed to be within the 10-foot circle when he cast
Yeah.
it? If so, everybody can come and go besides him.
Okay.
So yeah.
Omen will kind of go into it and just look around. And, well, this is roomy, I suppose. And then he'll kind of sit, and he'll conjure his shadow and have it run off to where that, if it's within range, he'd like to see the old man, like where he was sleeping.
And what is the range of the
1,000
shadow
feet.
again?
More importantly, is that considered a spell? Because spells can't pass in either direction.
What's a spell? Let's see.
I don't think it's a
Spells and
spell.
other magical effects
Spell-
can't extend through the dome or
Yeah.
be cast through it. Sorry.
Alright.
You could just like lean out of the dome and do it though.
True.
Fair enough. Yeah, he'll conjure shadow and it'll just kind of dissipate. Be like, oh, interesting.
Was this like the first thing you did after the dome was cast, or was this after a little while?
After a little bit.
Things
Okay,
is once he
then
goes
I'm,
out.
then I'm probably
he's
asleep. I was like, if it was soon after I cast the dome, then I'd say something. But if you waited a while, then I'm already asleep.
I guess he'll just, yeah, he'll go outside of the dome for a little bit and do that.
Mhm.
See if his old man friend is okay.
Shadow glides through the town back to the temple, where Brother Corwin sits resolutely in his place. He kind of rubs his eyes and tries to focus on this strange shadow in front of him. And then seems to make eye contact with it, seeing the blue. Ah. Comforting thing. Everything all right then?
The shadow will just put a thumbs up.
Good. Good. Well done, Protector.
The shadow will nod and then it'll just dissipate.
Tempest?
And then
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
He'll just go back into the dome and his eyes will keep open and he'll go into a trance.
Okay. Tempest?
Sorry, to clarify, are we on a grassy area? Are we on the street? Where are we? Like dome-wise? Where's the dome?
Grassy
The
area.
dome is in grass.
Alright.
I pictured
Tempest...
this as kind of like a park on the edge of town. I don't know if that was.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like the trees were cleared to make the town. And then there's kind of a small radius of grass outside where the buildings are before you get to like mountain forest again.
I really don't like this orb. But I also don't want to leave Desiel here and have him be eaten by the orb and none of us be aware. So I am going to lie half in and half out of the dome. So like my upper half is like out, just lying back, like I don't know, watching the sky or something. And then like I've got like one of my legs pressed against Desiel. So if he does get eaten, I know what happened. And yeah, I guess I'll just kind of like lie back and watch the sky and I don't know, clouds go past or something and think about all of my life choices that have led me to this point where we're discussing multiple gods and how we're gonna just walk and fix all of their problems. And this is great. This is so great. This is the adventure that I wanted in my life.
All right. Is everyone then heading to sleep? If so, where are Emnail and Lyra laying their heads?
I'm gonna sit by a tree that's closest to town and kind of make myself a little bit obvious. So if somebody comes towards this way, they would supposedly come to me first before going to the grassy knoll where everybody is, so that I can like suss them out.
No problem. Emnail?
I don't love that she's sleeping outside alone. I would ask if she minds if I keep her company, because I'd rather we don't stay any of us alone.
You can, but actually, you're so smart. Let me do this. And I disguise myself to be like a really menacing, like half orc scar on my face, and I'm gonna kind of prop my sword into the ground so that no one will know who I am. But you're welcome to stay.
Yeah, sure. I mean, between that and this, and I'll pull out the 8-foot tall scythe. I don't think people will, jump to conclusions.
Well, if you're staying
Um,
here with me, should we just take shifts? I'll take the first one and you take the second one so that we can just stay in guard.
Works for me.
Okay, well, I'll wake you up in a couple hours.
All right.
Technically, we only need like 4 hours each. Because we were woken up at midnight-ish, yeah.
I only need 4 hours of trance, and then I'll be up.
Excuse me, I'm an elf. Look at me.
You know.
All right. Those of you who are sleeping, drift off into the quiet night. Those who take shifts, take your shifts in several hour increments. Tempest. An hour or so before dawn, with light just beginning to touch the horizon, wake up feeling refreshed as you all get your long rests. And you're kind of wedged. Although you don't feel wedged, it's still strange to look down and not see your lower body at all through this green that seems to cut through you. Wake up. Rub your eyes. As you look up, the dome is not there.
Oh, for the love of gods! Do I feel my legs still pressed against Eziel?
Your leg brushes against cool morning dew.
Darn, no! I like flip up. Is he there? Is Omen there? Is anyone there?
Omen is there, seeming to be stirring from his trance. You wildly look around, you see Amnail and Lyra a short ways away. Desiel is nowhere to be found. The orb glows softly.
I knew it! I knew it! For once in my life, I was right! I was the smart one! Amnael! Desiel got eaten! Help!
The rest of you wake up to this desperate cry.
Oh,
Where did Desiel go? My shift was
It's
second.
You are outside the dome.
Oh,
you
so
do
he
not know.
didn't go out the dome. So the dome just disappeared.
You are you're kind of watching the edge of town, occasionally glancing over, and just before this happens, and you see Tempest wake up, you look over, the dome isn't there. As Tempest kind of kicks her bedroll off and gets up shrieking.
did this just happen? Like, did the dome just vanish? Because I would have been up for a while.
It's only been about 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
Because they didn't need the full amount of time.
Oh, okay.
It's your long rest.
Gotcha.
We dilly-dallied a bunch.
Gotcha.
What's going on? Why is Tempest... Or sorry, half orc. What's going on? Why is Tempest screaming?
Eziel's missing!
Ah, fuck. I transform back into Lyra.
This. Do I have any idea that Desiel might have just like wandered off, or am I like sure that he would have gone by me?
Yeah, can we look around? Is like his bedroll like moved or anything? Like, does it look like he's like lifted the blanket and gotten out and just reached out and touched the orb like an idiot?
Make an investigation check.
My best skill.
May I aid her?
You may.
I
In
will
fact, if you are
also
all going to be searching this area, then Tempest can make that at advantage.
Oh, okay. Okay. It didn't roll advantage. Whoops.
Alright, then just roll it again.
6 16? No, they're not going across. I rolled a 16. It's not going. Why?
You see that his bedroll has been neatly rolled up, tied back into place. His water skin kind of lays propped up against it. His spellbook is not there. His component pouch is not there. None of the things he would normally carry on his person are at the site. You look and where you feel at the grass where his bedroll where he was kind of laid out, there's no dew. As in this happened recently. But it certainly looks as though wherever he left, he did so in considered fashion. He was just up and out.
He went into the orb. He totally voluntarily went into the orb, and now he's in the plane of negative energy being negative.
Okay. I highly doubt that. I mean, the last time, speaking from experience as someone who has been plane shunted against his will thrice now, you don't really tidy up before you do it. You probably went somewhere.
I'm telling you, he was interested in that orb. He was like, I can just banish myself back, and what if he went and couldn't banish himself back? Can you locate him?
Can you message him? I know you hate when we ask you that, but Neil, this is kind of an emergency.
You really want me to waste a 3rd level spell slot in the first 10 minutes of this day?
I'll
Is
waste a
this
spell
what you
slot
ask
too.
of
If
me?
you want to feel better, we can waste spell slots together.
Is this what you require of me? I haven't even chosen my spells for the day.
Ah!
I have to prepare spells every day.
Does it look like around the orb he's
Okay.
like walked away? Is there like grassy footprints?
Before I do anything, what does the orb specifically look like? You said it was like kind of re-enchanted or something. What do I see when I look at the orb?
It is kind of shimmering with light, the same color as the orb itself, of where it's kind of this slick gleam of that grayish blue.
Okay.
And Tempest, to your question with that investigation, there are no footprints. Apart from Amnail's and Lyra's walking up towards you.
He touched the orb! I'm telling you!
How do we get to the negative plane?
No, we're not going to do that. I am going to, if you give me 20 seconds to just choose my spells for the day, I'm going to, yeah, and I'm the only, actually no, Desi also prepares spells. I was going to say I'm the only bastard that has to do this. Okay, I'm going to be reasonable about this. Before I message him, I will try to locate an object on his glove. I'm just gonna throw the twig in front of me in the air, mutter some words, and I'm gonna try to locate the glove that he has with the little gem.
Okay. You hold out your hand and kind of catch the twig floating in midair as it hovers and wobbles and spins and rotates. And the orbit kind of shakes and wobbles and it just falls into your hand.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. Is Amniel's statue still here?
Yeah.
Amnail statue.
Now his statue. I'm just gonna walk over to it and start yelling at it. Where the fuck is Desiel?
Something tells me that's not going to work. Fine, I'll cast sending or whatever.
Okay.
Would you mind informing us where the precise fuck are you? Thanks, kind regards, your dear pal, Amnael. Also, do you need help? Dude.
Are you pooping?
Are you pooping?
Are you pooping? Oh, I could have done. I'm going shit. I had exactly 3 words. Damn it. If you make me roll a d20, I am going to personally strangle you, Drew.
Well, roll a d20.
Book of light.
Oh no!
God.
I thought he said he wasn't going to touch the orb.
He said that, but his academic brain just can't help researching things. I bet he was like, oh, but it would be so interesting, and he just waltzed in there.
Or it ate
Harder
him.
for me to understand him with everyone yelling around me.
All right. One moment, please.
Oh my God, I hate
Atlanta.
this. I hate this. So, John, what's your backup character now that you shunted your character to the plane of negative energy?
I like the thought he's been kidnapped and we just unfairly just completely.
Yeah, it's his fault. I hate this.
One moment, please.
Wow, I wasted a 3rd level spell slot and I got put on fucking hold. Is this what I'm hearing?
This whole
Preserve the
PC.
narrative tension of it.
You just hear Eine Klein Nacht music.
Yeah, you send sending.
Oh, your call is very important to us and will be answered in the order in
Sorry.
which it was received.
I'm experiencing unusually high call volume at the moment.
So, John, with that information,
Oh,
how does Desiel answer this question?
this bitch.
I will answer. How far after this is? How far in are we? I am going to do something. True. Oh, here I'll tell you.
This for you is almost immediately after.
Okay, sorry, come again. Because I was too busy being annoyed at this whole situation. So what did Desiel reply?
I did not reply yet. I was responding to something that Drew asked me.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I need to check something.
So welcome to Table Quest's Watch as John and Drew Play D&D. This is a special edition.
Yeah, I guess I should double check that. Oh yeah, that
So
should.
yeah, join our Discord, guys, while we patiently wait. We
Alright.
have great banter there. Awesome
Since-
memes, 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Since that's actually going to give me time, do we want to switch over and just switch scenes? Drew?
We can, if you'd like.
Yeah,
Fuck
so
is
people aren't-
going on
okay.
right now?
Unless you would like to do something with what I have given you now.
This is
No,
it. This is my
I-
turning point to evil. This is my alignment change.
Yeah, for
We're
those at
tempest-
home, nobody knows what's going on apparently, except for Drew and John.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like the message from Mnail is that happening almost immediately after I end up in this situation. Or
Yes,
is that-
you are where you are,
Okay.
and as
When
you've
you be what
as
you
you-
be,
as you've done what
and you
you've
do
done,
what you
Okay.
do.
and are as you are, as you kind of stabilize for the moment.
Okay. Well, let's just switch to that scene if you don't mind, if that works. So,
Sure.
so
Just a video.
Desiel wakes up and stealthily gathers his shit and touches the orb.
All right. He feels an immediate grab at his psyche that I assume he acquiesces to.
Yes.
And you feel the whole world collapse around you as you are drawn into an infinitely small point. Then you feel almost like wind buffeting your face. It's kind of pressure. You force your eyes open, they immediately start to feel prickly and dry. You're seeing vast shapes sweeping past you in this black sea. Nothing. You feel the breath somehow being pulled from your lungs, your chest straining outwards, and you cast
I cast the spell commonly known as Resilient Sphere to allow me a little bit of time to see what's going on here.
Indeed. As you do, you fall to the bottom of the sphere, and gasping for a moment as the pressure shifts and changes. You look around and you see bright lights all around you, sweeping, passing by. Behind you, you see one particularly large, slowly fading away from you. Others kind of pass close, and you see seas of fire. When you look in front of you, the sky is, or whatever it is you are in, looks, there's a disc facing you. A perfect black disc that seems to, as you see other of these lights pass behind it, just warp them for a moment before they disappear. And it is growing bigger in your vision. And it seems you are being pulled unstoppably towards it.
Do I have?
In a few...
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry?
No. What were you about to say?
In a few moments, it looks as though, although you can't really see a surface, that you will make contact with whatever this is.
And do I have any idea what this thing may be?
Make an Arcana check.
Sure, it would be nice if someone could guide you.
15?
You wouldn't be here anyway.
So the negative energy plane, or negative energy itself, is kind of, from what you know, interacts strangely with light. In that when you have a sufficient amount of it, to whatever extent that is possible, light seems to bend around it. When you place a light source, a non-magical light source, within a pocket of negative energy, that light cannot be seen, even with the strongest of dark vision or even something like Devil's Sight. It would seem that what you are moving to is an immeasurably vast pocket of negative energy. Is the closest kind of description you could surmise.
Reading the description of the spell that I cast around myself real quick. Nothing can pass through. Okay. As it gets closer, shit, I didn't change my spells, but obviously I prepared it. What level is two others of you have it? What level is banishment? Third or fourth? Third, right?
Fourth.
Fourth. Oh shit. I wait for it to get right next to me, and right before it's about to touch my sphere, my resilient sphere, I begin to cast banishment on myself.
Okay.
The timing being, I want to see if it actually dissipates my sphere before I banish myself, because I only have one more fourth level spell. So I have to cast it. If I don't finish casting it, I'm fucked. So
Mhm.
I do finish casting it, but that's the timing I'm looking for.
All right. You get right up to. Although the surface, even somehow as you approach and it occludes more and more of your vision, it seems to almost fall away from you, almost as sharply as you were moving towards it a moment ago. But as this emptiness, this nothingness, makes contact with the sphere, as your eyes desperately try to find some focal point within it, it's as if the surface of the sphere becomes super clear, as if you're seeing it's perfectly transparent, but it's almost as if you're seeing the individual strands of magical energy which create it. And then you see a crack start to form from the center, slowly propagating outwards, very thin.
So I respond to him now. Just be right there, and then I finish the spell and banish myself.
All right, back in the material plane. How long do you wait? For Deziel's response before you do anything?
30 seconds.
Okay. Is anyone doing or looking at anything before that time? In that time?
Just putting my hand to Amniel's statue and saying, "Did anyone try touching this? Maybe it will bring us to Deziel." My hand is,
Probably
like,
a bad
right near it.
idea.
Are you sure?
Look, this thing is just, and I'll just take my. Actually, Omen, do you mind helping me with a little thing?
As long as it's not touching the egg there, sure.
Definitely not. Your sword seems, your hammer, I should say, seems much more appropriate for the job. Can you smash this, please? I'm tired of looking at my ugly face.
If you so desire, sure. He'll wind up and just baseball smack it.
All right.
Make a
Roll to hit.
charisma saving
No. Roll to hit.
Let's see if I can actually hit something for once.
throw. That's not moving. Hollow. Ah, there you
Yep.
go.
It crumbles. Like I said, it is hollow, so it just goes. And I think my laptop just died, so the music bot went. Continue. Tempest, what are you doing?
Panicking, just pacing back and forth. She's like borderline panic attack here. She's like, what do we do? Anigori, we can't plane travel. What do we do? She's like pacing back and forth. There's like smoke in her path at this point.
Look, if there is a possibility he just saw something weird, became invisible, and left. If
There's no footsteps.
And he wouldn't tell us?
I mean, that's kind of our thing, right? Going places without telling the rest of us.
That happened one time
Thank you. Thank
months
you.
ago.
That is not
That's
a valid
not
argument.
true.
Thank
Who
you.
else?
Okay, well, that other person's
Device
dead.
isn't set up yet. To get
Well,
started,
exactly.
upload the-
That's the problem.
No, that is not a valid argument. Tempest is gonna storm up to Abnail. No, there is a difference between going somewhere else your friends can find you and going to a whole nother plane when none of you can get there. We can't even be sure that's where he went. He didn't tell us where we went. He didn't take anyone who could help us. It's not the same.
Shit.
I agree that is hypocritical. I never said that. I just said that is kind of a pattern of behavior in this group. I
We've
made
been together
an
for one
observation.
day. One day, and things are already falling apart again.
Amnail, you get your response.
Do I hear the beginning of the incantation of the banishment spell, of which I am familiar since I have already cast it?
That depends. Does Desiel include that in the message?
He doesn't think. Let me roll a d whatever 50-50.
Alrighty. Odds or evens?
Odds.
You tell me.
Odds. Desiel will be odd. So there you go.
Even.
You want him to include it, so I don't know. Whatever. I didn't even say which one. So we'll say you win. So yes, you hear. He doesn't think to cut the transmission off before he continues.
Okay. The orb starts to rattle
Oh dear.
in the salt housing.
Like I start
Mhm.
taking everyone away from it.
As you all watch, the surface of it darkens. And almost becomes liquid. Like black water, as something ripples against the surface from beneath. And a long black claw extends out, seeming to get
I'm holding a
larger
first
as
level
it
guiding bolt.
as
Oh
it reaches
my.
out. A thin, long arm. As you all look, light seems to collapse into this. The orb in your vision getting bigger and bigger, and
I
you
summon
see.
aberration.
Okay.
You summon a what?
An aberration.
Aberration.
I don't know which one yet. Give me a second, but
Okay.
go on.
And you see something on the other side of the surface of a head comprised of fractal shapes folding in on themselves, which you should all be able to now see. A long, gangly limbs, one reaching out. And then there's a pop. Your vision swims back to normal. It is gone. And Desiel is standing in front of you. Desiel, make me a Constitution saving throw, actually.
This is not a death save.
Not a death save.
So there you go.
This is for something else. Okay. So you are fine. Not fine. Desiel appears in front of you within a mostly transparent, cracked sphere. His face is kind of pale and ashen. His lips are purple. His eyes almost kind of seem to be bugging out of his head a little bit. But you see color like quickly rushing back to his face. He looks okay. And the orb is back to being just a glimmering gray-blue orb.
I walk up to him, you fucking idiot, and I slap him in the face and I use my healing hands.
Why did you touch the orb?
What makes you think I touched the orb?
Because
Did you?
you were gone, and then you came back, and then a weird claw thing came out.
A weird clothing.
Yeah.
What kind of clothing?
A scary one
Where?
with
where?
fractals. It was coming out of the orb. So you did something with the orb, I would presume. Did the whispers tell you to do this?
What whispers?
The whispers of the universe, or whatever you said before?
Oh, that. I meant to tell you that The Whispers of the Universe. I have a particular channel to the near, and it is through these that I listen to the Whispers of the Universe. I was going to answer your question earlier, but then other conversations happened, and so. Where did this scary thing happen? Like right here, where I'm standing, like me.
I
Pretty
changed
much.
myself to look as close as I can to what just came out of the orb.
That's gonna be tough.
I'm just doing it as close as I can.
Okay.
It kind of looked like this.
So you see
Seem
this kind
familiar?
of chunked head, black with white veins going through it. Long clawed hands.
Did I see anything like that on the other side, Drew?
You did not.
So now I think there's something else that wants to kill us. Or maybe that's whoever this moon goddess is?
Or maybe this Karkath, because apparently the one thing we're good at is keep stacking strong, powerful enemies. I look over at Tempest. We're fine.
Tempest is like faced away from you all, and her hair is like rolling. She's like sparking. Her clouds are like deep, almost black. And like when she speaks now, there's almost like an echo to her voice. And she's just like, no, not fine. And she just kind of walks away from you guys a bit.
By the way, there is a slod. I don't know how to say that. It's just right next to me, as I'm still in this creature form.
Just watching this whole interaction.
Yep. I'll just like look over to it. Hey, by the way, sorry about that. I'm gonna keep you around for the next hour, and then just staring at the rest of this conversation.
On that note, we are gonna head to break.
Oh my god.
We will resolve hopefully as much of this as we can when we come back in the next hour and a half or so. See you back here in roughly 10 minutes time. Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. I hope you enjoyed the break. As we left off, Tempest ran off in a bit of a huff. As Desiel had returned.
So you didn't see the big black evil person?
No, I saw a big black something, but it was not a person. It was more like a disc of nothingness that attempted to absorb me into nothingness.
Oh. Is that better?
I don't know. You say this big black evil person, evil looking person, was here in this plane though?
Yeah, kind of just...
Like it came with me? Like it came like the same time that I returned, it returned? Or...
Was it just before Drew, or was it like...
In the moments before, so after you heard his response, or after Amnel heard his response, the kind of weird effect with the orb started to happen, and then that collapsed suddenly when Desiel came back. Like it interrupted whatever was happening.
It seems it was forming, and then you just stopped it.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
I guess.
Yeah, there was, perhaps it was attempting to come through, and I was able to stop it from doing so. That was strange. We should buy a lead box or something and put this inside it, because this is not safe to be out in the world. And he's pointing to the glowing orb.
But now
More
we can't
important-
touch it, right?
I don't know. It seems that anything that touches it directly seems to be pulled. It seems to be attempting to pull anything nearby or touching it into this
Would it-
plane of negative energy.
Would like just regular items be sucked in? Did we try that?
Just
Or is
this.
it just magic-y things?
I think that's what happened when Nail attempted to stab it with the. It looks over. Is Lyra there? Standing there?
Yeah, I'm standing there still disguised as best as I can, that monster
With
with
the
a
sword.
slab right next to me.
And the sword.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I have a sword,
Okay.
yeah.
When Nail attempted to stab it with his with the sword, he points at her sword. They attempted to pull you in, no?
Yeah, I don't know. It certainly did try to do something. I can only imagine it was trying to me in.
And now let's just, do a little turn slightly, and he'll turn to Lyra. What is that?
For this guy, I call him Robbie. He helps me out
Robbie.
sometimes. Yeah. Well, what, Robbie, say hi. He just waves at you.
Oh. Has Omen ever seen anything like that before?
Huh. What a good question.
Yeah. Should I roll?
You should roll a nature check? I think?
What does it look like again?
Like a giant fucked up frog.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It is if a toad were an apex predator.
Mm.
Does it look kind of like
And-
the Zeal's Shadow Spawn?
No.
It has kind of black smoke curling off it. Like, you can't see where the smoke emanates from. And if you just look around the edges, you can kind of see this black haze around it. So if you get a close look, it's the tiniest bit transparent. And as it moves, its motions kind of leave a small ghosting trail. Like, it's not fully there, whatever it is. Yeah, Omen, heard of Slod? Don't know that you've ever seen. You can't recall seeing one or really knowing anything about them. You know that they're not considered cuddly creatures. As just kind of general knowledge.
And did you tame such a creature?
You tame your friends? No? What a ridiculous questions. Robbie, get a load of this guy. He's new. His name's Omen.
Omen will kind of look to Amniel. Has she done this before? Do you know Robbie?
No.
Oh yeah, you guys. Oh, I'm so sorry, Robbie. This is Amniel. That's Desiel. I mean, I don't think I ever really summoned you near Tempest. Well, no, there was that one time we drank a little too much and we're just like shooting magic. So you know Tempest, but these are my friends.
The
Friends,
creature,
these
by the
are
way, is not
Robbie.
reacting
Yeah.
like to what she's saying. It's just kind of looking at her absently, like it's waiting for an order.
Oh, so you
But
also got a new friend.
It doesn't seem
Yeah.
to be like interacting as a sentient creature.
Fine. Drew, is there a smith in town or a place in this small-ish town where we might be able to buy a lead box?
Yeah, there would be a townsmith.
Okay, so do we want to try to get a lead box to put this thing in?
This will be my best suggestion.
Me and Robbie can stand guard. I have him for like 58 more minutes. If you guys want to go grab the trunk.
Yeah, we can try. Because I do agree that I don't necessarily know how we would transport it into the box, but I do agree that leaving it behind seems like a terrible idea.
And how big is this orb? Like, how big a box are we gonna need?
Yeah.
It's not all that big. I'm gonna be a real jerk to those who don't live in America. It's like the size of a football.
Screw you.
Oh,
So
I
for
see.
the
That's
rest,
really helpful.
An American
so
football.
for the rest of you, it's rough. I mean, it's still roughly the size of a football.
Yeah. It's about
They're
as
pretty
wide as a
close.
football if you just kind of like a deflated.
It's a slightly it's squished,
It's
so
a
it comes to 2 points.
It's a squished football. Like a deflated football.
The
Ask
same
Tom Brady,
radius
he'll tell
and
you.
the same radius at its widest point.
Is the you want to get a lead box to contain the magic inside? Like it won't. Like, what if we got lead gloves instead, and then use them to put the orb into the bag of holding, and then when you take it out, use the lead gloves.
But
to
then
take
the
it out.
orb may touch the bag of holding. Is my concern.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
But I have some information about the Raven Queen, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Whispers?
She would say that. She is not dead.
Good.
She
Insight check.
Let's wait till he gets
If I may.
the whole thing out, and then we'll just do one. Yeah.
She remains in the realm of shadow. Yeah. Clearly things have happened, but I can say this, that she is not dead and she remains in the realm of shadow. Drew specifically, I know I did a thing about the sorrow sworn, but on its most basic level, what were the sorrow sworn again?
Starsworn are creatures, spirits that manifest in the Shadowfell, kind of as coalescings of strong despair and emotion.
I don't remember why I looked them up. Was it an Omen related thing?
It would have been related to the Sorrowsworn possessed keeper that you guys fought.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. So yeah, I mean, this is good news, no? I mean, the Raven Queen is alive. I cannot say she is well, but she is alive. She has not been, she has not been killed, and she is still within the realm of shadow. At the moment, that's about all he's going to say. So feel free to roll your insight.
Sure.
Feel free.
Well, I suppose. Well, I suppose that's good. Good news.
You don't know me very well.
No. You don't indeed. He still looks a bit strange, like the color's coming back, but like he still doesn't look quite right.
And when did you come across this information?
He looks up. Is the sun rising?
Just about. Not quite.
Recently, very recently. I mean, I had mentioned something to that effect earlier, but other conversations are being had. I attempted to mention a few times, actually. Last night, I guess if you call it last night, that I had some information, but it seemed like other matters were more at the forefront of the conversation.
Oh. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I just thought you might like to know.
I very much do, yes. That's...
But yes, it was
Great news.
with the help of Denier that I was able to find this information. And it is through a particular tie with Denier that I have managed to develop that I came about this information, which is why I was asking you previously about your feelings on Denier, as he is currently not quite what he was before.
All right. Well, I suppose she is safe there. If... The connection, I can't go there anymore, so I guess she cut it off for her own safety, which is reasonable.
I mean, if you wish to go there, I can. I mean, and clearly, my friend Emmanuel, like, we can send you back if that is your wish, but I don't know what it would accomplish.
Yeah, then I'll be just stuck there as well. And I can't really fix. If I can fix. This seems very
there's definitely
out of my league.
There is definitely something strained about her condition. Like she is held there in the shadow through her duty, but perhaps it's the way that a king in a castle who is under siege remains in the castle. No, you cannot say he's safe, but he's still there, alive, doing his duty.
But she's not doing her duty. Amniel's god is doing the duty. And smile at that, Tom.
Sorry.
I saw that. I was breaking too.
Well, if she's, hurt or something like that, she needs to recover, and I don't think she should have to do the duty if she needs to have a rest.
Okay, we can all agree that the Raven Queen is kind of in the middle of all of this, right? Besides us, of course.
Perhaps she's delegating?
Can we just say fuck it and just go find her and just be like, lady, come on, just what's wrong so we know how to fix the problems? Because, okay, I was convinced last night she was dead because Amniel's god is taking over. People aren't dying correctly. A lot of bad shit is happening. So if we know that she just needs to heal, then maybe we can find the god healer. I mean, if there's a god slayer sword, there should be like a god healer, right?
This is at the heart of the conversation I tried to have with Amneo some months ago.
Who's the god? You said that there's a negative plane, and then is there a positive plane?
The elemental planes, no, have the energies of the fire and the water and the wind and the earth, for lack of. I mean, its translation from crazy magics into the language we speak is the energy of earth, right? Rocks. I mean, these are the energies, and the negative energy is like the opposite of those things, but at the same time kind of tied to those things.
Because if the person who's the god of the negative plane is all about killing. Is there a god of the positive plane that would be like, hey,
Who can heal?
heals?
God healer.
I mean,
Oh my gosh.
It's more that she became negative energy when she was defeated. She was like a husk of herself.
Nail, you can make a religion check for me during this conversation.
I totally misinterpreted something.
What's that?
I totally misinterpreted something.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You are well within things as Disney would know it.
All right.
Ooh.
No idea.
And as well as Nail puts things together right now. There's kind of a, like, there's kind of like a tickle in the back of your head of like, oh, there's something I should know about this. But you're kind of still shaking off, the fog of rest. You're in this strange situation. There's adrenaline still flowing, and you just can't put together what it is where that fleeting thought came from.
I mean,
I'm very during this conversation.
I can perhaps learn more about her specifically. It would take me a little time. Perhaps if while anybody wants to go buy a lead strongbox, I can attempt to see what knowledge is known about her throughout the universe. And tap into those
I
knowledges.
can join you. Or I can go fetch it if you'd like.
I mean, I can go buy it as well. It's whatever we want to do. I have no... I mean, our plan for today was meet up with Tempest and Lyra and what? And that was it. Hang out, no? So, I have no specific plans for today, other than whatever we decide as a group.
Well, I have Robbie for a while, so if anyone needs muscle duty or guard duty, he's the guy.
Wow, you are all very magical. This is...
He just like begins studying Robbie while he waits for other people to figure out what the fuck we're supposed to do.
If you're going to buy something, Dizil, I'll join you. If you think it is best that I stay behind and help keep eye on the thing, I'll do that. I'm in no particular rush.
Oh, no, I mean, I can go with you. Tell them exactly what we need, if you want.
Yeah, that works.
And anybody else? Tempest, Omen. We're just going to buy a lead box. Anybody needs anything from town?
Tempest is away from the group, so she probably doesn't hear you.
No, I think I'm all right.
Need some
Seems
snacks.
like... No? I mean, sure.
I mean, one thing, you guys are all very thirsty.
Oh, wait, am I thirsty?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Actually, for once
Or
in
no,
my undead
sorry.
life,
You
Oh.
are not. That's
never mind.
That's
I
correct.
feel
You know
nothing inside. I don't even know why I asked for snacks. I'm never hungry. It's just human instinct.
Never again will
mind.
you appreciate dragon bacon.
She just likes snacks. Snacky chan. So, does she look particularly dry and desiccated?
not more so necessarily than she did. Well, right now she looks like a barely Euclidean horror, but
I haven't changed back.
Speaking of, something allegedly began to came through and may or may not have completed. I'd like to investigate the area to see if it's drier than it was before I went to sleep and then got sucked into the other plane.
Okay. Make an investigation check. Ooh.
Suddenly he, like, when you mention that, he, like, stops looking at the slot and starts just looking around everywhere.
Yeah. So you see, the sun is just now beginning to come up. You would still expect there to be a lot of dew on the ground and a good amount of fog in the air, as there was when you went to sleep. And indeed, around you, around this area, you can there's a haze, but it's more distant than it normally would be. Dew on the grass is kind of taken up, but not entirely. It looks as though, based on what was described to you of how large this effect seemed to be, the withdrawing of the water around is not nearly enough to have done that.
Okay, so something came through. I suppose perhaps it went back. It looks. Anyway, no, forgive me. What? Yeah, we were going to. No, we're good. Leadbox, and now. Tempest, we're going shopping. Do you need anything? Omen, so.
No.
No. Omen, Lyra, you don't need anything.
No, I need nothing anymore. Ever again.
Suppose I'm a little parched, but
Oh, just rub it in. Why don't you? Okay, fine. You can drink water. Ooh, for you.
You can also drink water.
I know it's not the point.
I didn't mean to rub it. Okay.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
All right.
I'm just gonna go stand guard of the orb with Robbie.
Okay.
Well. Okay. So I guess Emnael and I are going to buy a chest. If anybody else wants to come or not come, this is fine.
I might stay here with the orb just in case.
I'm helping Lyra, no? He looks at Omen.
Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
Helping Lyra?
Helping? Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course.
Does he seem to intend Lyra any harm?
No?
Okay.
Me and Robbie are playing patty cake in the background at this point while we're on guard, so.
Like, Lyra's the one person, like, oh, my name's pretty legit, but Lyra's the one person I'm like, okay, you say so. Okay. I guess and I are going to buy a lead chest to put this thing in.
I'm gonna, as they're leaving, I'd prefer if they didn't notice, but with their perception, they probably will. Not Gerard to just follow them with the instructions, just scream if one of them mysteriously suddenly disappears or touches an orb.
Right. Well, on our way out, I was actually gonna pass by Tempest wherever she went to ask her and not yelling across the way and say, "We're going into town. You sure you don't need anything?"
She like carefully won't make eye contact with anyone really. And she'll just kind of shake her head.
Okay. Well, stay within view of the others, eh? I don't mind just failing my perception. So. And then I guess it's just you and me. I mean, we're just off to buy a box, so see you in a few, Tempest. Okay. And I guess we head off to buy the box.
You walk into the town. It's early morning, so shops are just now beginning to open. People begin to stir. You make your way to the blacksmith towards the center of town. He is just opening his doors, firing up the kiln. Early birds get the worm, hey?
Yeah, we need... This may be a bit strange. I don't know. So we need a box made of lead.
A box made of lead.
Made of lead, lined of lead. The more lead, the better.
Ah!
But like, not like a giant box. Like a box...
You wish to transport something that... I see, yes. A fully leaden box is not the kind of thing that I do, or anyone does, so far as I know. That would be, even at the size you suggest, extremely heavy.
Yeah.
But a box lined with lead, I can provide you with one of those.
Okay, and to your knowledge, this, I mean, clearly you understand why, so a box lined with lead will do transport magical things without...
Indeed.
Okay, just say so. I will actually roll perception.
Okay.
This is just perception to see if I notice the Gerard, the not Gerard.
You'll notice that.
Okay. I like pick him up and put him on my other shoulder opposite Eddie.
Are you telling me he doesn't have rogue stats? Rude.
Believe it or not, he's not conscious and able to make stealth checks.
I made him out of black paper, okay? He blends in.
And it's daytime now.
Yeah, sure. Eziel doesn't immediately see him, but he listens and hears crinkling paper.
A tiny little Omen.
I set him up on
Blue
top
dots.
of Eddie, so he's like riding Eddie like a horse. There you go. What, Jess? I mean, I trust you as you clearly know more about this than I do. We need one of those.
Indeed. What thickness of lead?
Yes.
I see. He walks inside to the back as you're kind of left in this, into the main area. It comes back hauling this box about the dimensions you need. Made of thick wood on the outside that you can see, but then as he bumps it down on the ground, lifts the lid, you can see lined with matte gray metal. The thickest I have, the thickest you'll find first some ways around. Suppresses all magical effects of something that will fit in this box.
Okay. I guess I should ask, do I believe him?
You can make an insight check.
17.
I mean, he doesn't know what you're gonna put in the box.
But it's the thickest he has, and he believes
It's the thickest he has to this knowledge, to his knowledge.
Sure.
Nothing's gonna get through that.
All right. Okay, yeah. I mean, how much is something like this?
For something this size, fortunately, lead is not too expensive at the moment. 5 gold pieces.
Okay. Desiel just pulls it out of his personal.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Likewise.
I hope whatever you're transporting remains safe.
He goes to pick it up.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. With, you reckon, probably a few inches of lead.
Do we need?
Thankfully, you have a friend who can carry about 400 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need, I can hold one side. No, you got it. Okay.
I don't want to sprain your arm or pop off your shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, it's the fingers. They do
That's
that. They do delicate anyway.
That sounds counterproductive.
Okay. So
So, just quick question. Your idea is that we lift this and just pop it around the thing?
you're
We're
able.
not touching that, right?
I mean, no,
Right?
not today. I cannot touch it again. Well, the arcane recovery won't give me a force spell. Not today. I cannot touch it again. So, but you touched it with the magical sword, which apparently you gave Lyra. But you touched it with the magical sword and it was not immediately affected. Perhaps we can like scoop it in.
Somehow my plan of just sealing it around the thing still sounds like the better idea. I'm sorry.
Sealing what around the what?
The thing is like on the it's like not on the ground, right? It's like inside the statue, correct?
Just inside.
So we can just break the statue and then just close the box around it.
I mean, if
without
the thing floats, absolutely. We destroy the statue of you, and then we close the box around it.
That's done.
No, I mean it was just the face. But no, I mean if we destroy the statue and the thing is floating, then yeah, we just close it around it. But if not, then we use something magical to kind of. I mean, between the sword. Did you give that Lyra the sword? I know you talk about it. Okay. So I mean, between the magical sword and I mean, I got the cultist, the Phillips dagger, is magical, and perhaps between the magical items we can scoop it in if it's not floating after the statue is destroyed.
Doesn't seem like a great idea, if I'm being honest, because I did feel it do something to me. It just didn't succeed when I touched it with my weapon.
Okay, well, I cannot save myself from again until tomorrow. If I get sucked in today, I am gone, like worse than Lyra gone.
If I get sucked at any point, that is bye-bye.
I mean, you can banish yourself. Clearly, you banished. Oh, but you would go to see mommy and daddy. Oh, okay. I mean, so the two of us, the only two that can banish anything is, I mean, you can banish yourself, and I can't do it today. Yeah, I don't know Lyra has that. So the only two of us that can do anything, I mean, you banishing yourself is bad either way, and I can't do it until tomorrow. So maybe we hope we can close around like you say. Okay. Tempest can levitate it, and then we close around it.
Maybe that thing is too heavy. I mean, I guess we'll have to find out.
If it's too heavy for her to levitate, then it's too heavy for us to lift and put in the fucking bag. Well, anyway, we should stop and pick up some foods for everybody. We should get Lyra some foods too. I mean, she can enjoy the taste, no? No?
I imagine so. I actually had the idea to make a little bit of a feast for us tonight, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Did you get a chalice from somewhere? Do I remember you getting a chalice from somewhere?
I do have a...
No, do I remember? Like, did we do that in story or was it in downtime?
No, that was before. That was way
Yeah,
before. I
that's what
think
thought. Okay. Yeah.
Provost gave it to
Yeah,
me
that's right. Provost.
Yep.
forever ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Before the first time we went
I
into
remember it now.
Harlan's house.
That's right. I'm like, there's another game I'm in. We went specifically to get a chalice. I'm like, am I confusing games? But okay.
Goblet, thank you very much.
Sorry.
There's a difference.
Okay.
Harry, did you put your name in the chalice of fire? Doesn't have the same ring now, does it?
It is actually a chalice. My microphone's up here. It is actually a chalice. The Goblet of Fire is actually a chalice, but I won't get into that.
Okay, so we have food, no? Are we stopping at food for everybody?
Yeah. I could make some food for us, but if you think it's better for us to buy it, yeah.
Why don't you make food? You make food, whatever. I mean, we're here in town. We just buy food. Just save your strength. Save your strength. We'll go in and just buy some food for everyone.
Yeah. Not much of a problem. Say if
Just
you want to do like, yeah, just a couple thousand. If you want to do like a decent meal for everybody, you know, fresh food, things like that. You know, I mean, you got 2 gold.
Okay.
Is what that is. I mean, this isn't a particularly fancy town. So like the best you'll get is not like the best possible, but it's warm, it's filling, it's not, you know, it's soup that's not like filled with water every time it gets low. Like it's hearty.
I got
and then
it.
if you go to get water as well,
oh yeah.
You'd have to wait a little bit at one of the wells in town, as it seems like there are a number of people experience the draining of their personal water supplies. But things are relatively orderly. Rather pleasant community. People are cordial and efficient enough that you can scoop out some water, refill your water skins, etc., and then head back to everybody else. Is there anything particularly that people want to do while they're gone?
Yeah.
I figured.
Omen will go over to the patty cake.
Where the slot is just like has its arms out.
Yeah, just doing it on his arms. I'm having a great time.
Wow, I've never seen that before. So, little birdie told me that the sword chose you.
Who's to say who chose who?
So you chose the god-slaying sword. That was designed to kill the Raven Queen.
I kind of like shift back into Lyra form because I was still creepy monster, but I like shift back into Lyra. Look. Omen? Sometimes you're born for something. You have a destiny to fulfill, right?
I know that all too well.
But let's say along your journeys or your experience in life, all of a sudden you see another road, another path. And you think to yourself, maybe I should check out what that road has to offer. Where does that lead? Because I've only known this one road my entire life, right?
Again, I know that all too well.
Just because something is born to fulfill a role or a destiny or whatever you may call it, doesn't mean that's what they're here for.
Are you saying that you were born to get that sword?
You know, I didn't really mean that, but now that you said it, now I'm kind of thinking that. That's too much for me to handle at, I'm looking at the sun barely rising in the distance this time of hour. Funny story, I actually don't know where I came from or, like, anything of importance before a certain time in my life, so who's to say?
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, can you read any future or past?
Can I read
futures, past? Take any, either.
I mean, I could try to trance to see if I've seen you in a past life, but I don't know.
Would you really do that for me?
I'll try.
Okay, I will give you 1 gold.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I guess I'll sit down and try, but I don't know how long that would take.
Well, I'd say coincidentally, it takes about the time it takes them to do what they do and get back.
Wait, before he goes into trance, I like shake his shoulder. Oh wait, hold on. I should probably show you my real self. You gotta understand, this is a big thing for me, buddy. And I show my changeling form.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you've seen this face in a smaller form, like childlike or something, just let me know, and I shift back to Lyra.
Have I seen that before just as me? Because I'm pretty old.
Not at the moment.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, thanks. Me and Robbie will go back to patty caking over your head while you trance.
Okay. You spend the rest of your time in contemplation of past selves. Thinking back, searching for that face. Make a history check. For an instant, something kind of stirs from ages and ages past of a village you stumbled upon, of strange people whose faces changed. You weren't particularly welcome there, and you made your way out quite quickly. This was a long time ago, and pretty sure Lyra's not that old. During that, Tempest. Is there anything you'd like to do in particular?
I think she's just sitting away, like still in range, but like in sight, but like away from them. Just kind of crouched down, leaning against a tree, just thinking. I think about what they're doing, what the end game is here, how she feels about everything. She's a bit demure compared to her usual chaotic, like upbeat, lively self, I think.
Sure. You spend some time in that contemplation, and a short while later, Desiel and Amnail come by. Desiel kind of with several carefully wrapped bags of food and water skins kind of thrown over one shoulder. And now lugging this heavy-looking box, a very dense-looking box, back to your location.
I guess I'll just try to close this so that we can get done with this thing. So my first idea is to just, because the statue is quite thin, right? The salt around the blob.
Which statue is that?
The larger one, the one that has the blob in it.
No, the larger one is solid.
Okay.
It is salt, and because remember, you and Omen kind of had to hack at it for a good while before it, not necessarily, but you had to hit it pretty hard to get it to open enough to reveal. So it's pretty solid through. Although, what did I say? About a quarter of it is exposed already, and you can chip away. You reckon, given enough time, without like just hacking at it, you can chip away with the specialized sword to get it loose enough, or you could see about having Tempest Levitation just yank it.
Yeah, I think we could just like, if both of you don't mind, I direct my attention towards Omen and Lyra. You'll find that sword is particularly suited for this type of thing. Just kind of break over here, and I just point underneath the blob. And my idea is just to put like first break like its legs so we can put the box under it, and then break the space that's left so that the blob will just whoop, plop into the box.
The leg breaker.
I would suggest to you that Robbie can hold the box. He has a strength. Yeah, he's strong. Can I direct him to do stuff or just attack? Hold on.
Oh,
Sorry.
maybe Robbie could put the thing in the box.
Well, didn't you do that with Eddie and he disappeared as soon as he touched it?
Yes.
Robbie, where are you from?
He can't answer you.
Damn it.
Doesn't he speak something? Deep speech and understand every language the caster speaks.
The creatures and ally to you and your companions in combat. Da, 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 da.
And Lyra speaks Elvish.
Read your verbal commands, takes the dodge action.
Languages, deep speech, understands the languages you speak.
Yeah.
Ah.
Do you know deep speech?
Well, it understands my languages
understands
that I
yours.
It
speak.
understands. Okay, yeah, it understands what you say, but can't necessarily.
But I
reply
can
in that
cast
language.
something if I need to communicate with it. But I don't think we need to do that for this. So, Robbie, can you put the... Robbie, where are you from?
Yeah, he can only answer in deep speech. He can understand other
okay.
languages.
Points
He
down.
cannot speak them.
Fine,
I don't speak
fine.
that
I
shit.
cast... I'm gonna waste both of my spell slots for their short rest period and just cast tongues. Robbie, where are you from?
I have comprehend languages.
Below.
Oh, that sounds like a lovely place. Like in the ground?
Below.
Hey, since I have you here, I've been calling you Robbie. Does that offend you? Do you have a name you would prefer?
I know Admiral.
Robbie it is. You're right. Rolls right off the tongue. Exactly what I'm thinking. Okay, Robbie, listen. I'm gonna need something very important from you. I'm gonna need you to hold that box. And try not to get touched by the orb.
plods over, goes to take the box from Emil.
Okay, quick question. Isn't it better for me to hold the box and he tries to put the thing in here? Or is just going with the leg breaking idea?
Because
I mean, both work.
if he touches it, he will be banished to below, is where I'm learning Robbie is from.
No, if he touches it, he
but-
will likely go to the plane of negative energy. Because when Eddie touched it, he did not go home. He got pulled into the same place that I got pulled into.
Oh, okay. How did you get back, Desiel?
I banished myself.
Oh, I
And
can do that.
I am from this plane. But you can do it
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently we can all fucking do it. Right?
Okay, so
Tempest is
Robbie
off by
holds the
herself.
box.
Hey, Omen, can you banish something back to where it comes from? Its home plane?
I can't make little lights with my hands, so no.
No, I mean, that's like Thaumaturgy. He does that. That's annoying. But, like, can you banish?
I can certainly kill people.
Okay.
The old-fashioned banish, I suppose.
Banish them to very specific places.
To death. To the Raven
can
Queen, to the
banish
home of the
people.
Raven Queen. You can banish them.
I
to the Raven
suppose.
Queen. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But not so much. Okay, so I wonder if Tempest can do it. Is she okay? Lyra, is she okay?
Desiel, we thought we lost you there for a minute, so, you know. She needs a minute.
Oh, okay. He just kind of looks over at Tempest. As if that surprised him. That
Okay, so I will hold the box because I can banish myself back here. Robbie will push the ball with my sword. Because if he accidentally touches it or something happens, you know, Robbie, Godspeed to you, buddy. But, you know, I can always make another Robbie. So
Just sorry to interrupt you. Terribly sorry. So you want to protect the weird entity, risk yourself, and maybe lose the thing that I spent about a month trying to personalize and give to you.
Oh. Okay, so what do you want Robbie to do? Robbie pushes it in.
He could do that, or he could just hold it and we do the thing that I told you. We break the legs of the statue, place the box opened underneath the legs, and then we just break downwards so the thing plops into the box.
Okay, I translate all this to Robbie.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna break the legs, okay? Hold the box.
He-
Just hold the box, okay?
That was me thinking of how a slod would process this plan.
Just hold the box,
No.
okay?
He's just
He is super smart.
he's smart.
I would ask him for advice. I'd be like, unless you got any better ideas.
Does he have more than a negative intelligence? I mean, because he may actually be able to advise her.
He actually does have
Wait.
deep
He's literally
intelligence.
smarter than everyone but you.
16 intelligence. Robbie, what do
Wow.
we do?
He's smarter than everybody except Desiel. He's the second smartest person here.
Well, you see, I've researched one that
Well, actually,
He's like, you're all plebes. Let me talk to that guy.
underneath
You
this
don't know what I'm saying.
flesh fold here, I have a dissertation paper on the negative energy plane.
It is tattooed upon my skin as is customary.
If we touch, we go away.
Yeah, you got it.
If I touch,
Yeah,
I go away.
yeah.
So no, I won't touch.
You no touch. Good job, Robbie.
Good, you're getting it.
Yeah, we're getting it, Robbie.
You're smart enough
you're
to summon me.
mansplained by a
Without-
slot.
Those of you without a negative intelligence, he's not
I'm
using
saying this in
simplified.
deep speech.
Yeah, he's not using simplified language because that's all he could speak. Yeah,
It's Desiel trying to explain thermodynamics to...
exactly.
If we move without touch,
Uh-huh.
move
Yeah.
into box.
Yeah. Robbie, you're getting it. I'm so proud of you.
Good. Can anyone move without touch?
Robbie wants to know who can move without touch.
I mean, I can.
That man, Robbie.
Or if what I do fails, then Tempest can levitate it, I suppose.
And that blue girl over there. Those are our two no-touchers.
No.
I can push, or I can pull.
All no touchers.
All no-touchers. Okay, got you, Robbie. I'm on the same page with you.
Hey, move no touch.
Listen, guys, Robbie is really trying to make you guys understand. Do not touch, okay?
Okay, so I can push it or I can pull it, and if that fails, then Tempest can levitate, I think. I don't want to speak
Okay.
before her, but...
Push, pull, or levitate, Robbie.
I guess it... does she... What language does she say that in?
I'm saying this on deep speech.
Oh, well,
You can say what you're saying in whatever language you want.
No, I don't want them to know what
Okay.
I'm talking about.
well then I don't interject with my ideas. Draconic I got. Deep speech no.
I use tongues. I'm using it while I have it.
Can he control the pull?
Can you control the pool?
Just
That's
see
what
me
Robbie
do
wants to
this. And he like reaches over and he like pulls her 5 feet towards him.
know. See, Robbie, he can't.
Perhaps be careful with pull. It will be difficult to pull into box.
Okay, Robbie would like you to know that he's very amazed by your arcana. You're a very powerful wizard. Also, he wants you to pull it, but be careful.
Alright. Yeah, I mean I can... Sure, I pull it, push it. Without, I mean, at that point, if it floats, or if it's at a place where we can pull or push, just have the box behind it, and I can just push it into the box. It'd be easier to push it into
I
the
can
box.
hold the box. Yes, I can hold the box right behind it, and you just give it a little nudge.
Yeah, it's like like hit it with a cricket bat, no?
In this session, the gang spends an hour trying to gift wrap.
Fucking orb.
Okay, I am.
By the way, this is just every episode of Briscoe County Jr. What's happening right now?
I've never
I know
seen that.
that's a reference no one here is gonna get. We're even calling it the orb.
Okay, so Robbie, hold the box. I push the orb, and we see what happens.
Hey, Robbie, you gotta hold the box, and they're gonna push it in. Be ready. And they also said good luck, and yeah. Oh, hey.
I can understand them.
Oh, shit. Well, that's no fun. Hey, by the way, when you go back below, can you bring a message to whoever lives there?
Sure.
Okay, ask them if we can have a meeting, a courtly meeting with some gods or god healers. Thanks, Robbie.
I don't think you know what is below.
No, I don't, but thanks, Robbie.
I will hold the box.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Robbie like a giant toad, essentially?
He is a giant carnivorous toad.
A
In
Pac-Man,
essence.
Pac-Man frog.
Basically, Lyra never got over the
Sharp Pac-Man frog.
that rejected her.
He's a giant, a bipedal Pac-Man frog. Awesome.
That is a reference. 38 sessions in the making.
More than that, it's like almost 40.
Yeah.
That's a good question. What color is he? Is he like a shadow toad or?
It's always about color with you, isn't it? Fucking Australians.
I mean,
Yes. I don't think it says.
It can be green, it could be blue, it could be red, it could be whatever color you want it to be.
He's a gray sloth.
Ooh.
He doesn't look like the frog prince.
Hey, Robbie, do you have a cousin you can introduce me to?
It'd
Never
be
mind, this
hilarious
is more
if
important.
she
Let's go.
summons essentially like a slot version of the frog prince. Like, like, he looks familiar. Can't quite place it. All right. Okay, so we're doing this. Robbie, thank you. I got you. You and me, buddy. We got this.
You and me.
You have no idea what he
Yeah,
says.
but he
He
nodded.
grunts at you in some grating, bubbling, burbling speech.
Okay. On three. A one. A dos. A C. And I telekinesis push the orb. I attempt to push the orb into the box.
Do you mind popping out the telekinetic ability? For
Absolutely. Inventory features and traits.
if used on death orbs, causes immediate 10d10 damage.
Ooh. It says you can also attempt to shove a creature with your mind, but we've used it to move objects in the past. But
yes.
So mage hand, I don't know how. Essentially, it's like a stronger mage hand. Essentially, is what it is.
Okay. What does the ability read?
Okay, so the feat telekinetic. You learn the mage hand spell, which I know, and can make this mage hand invisible, which we've done.
Right.
You can also attempt to shove a creature with your mind.
So this is using your mage hand.
Yes, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it's like a more powerful mage. Or yeah. A mage hand that can somehow affect creatures when a regular
better
can.
control over your mage hand that lets it affect more things.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, because it's not like the telekinesis spell.
Oh
Okay,
no.
That is an important distinction.
This just makes my mage hand better, stronger.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You focus. You force out whatever motion you use to indicate that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Cool. It's like that scene in Spider-Man where he's trying to figure out how to cast the webs.
But Tobey Maguire did it. I don't understand.
Yeah. You feel sort of the extension of your magic push, strike the object, and dissipate around it.
Oh, I see why. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna kick the back of the statue.
Oh shit! Like with your boot?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Roll me strength athletics.
Yes, sir.
Oh, the statue.
Man,
Yeah,
I'm not
the orb.
Yeah. I was like, oh
Yeah.
fuck. He's gonna banish
kick
kick
the
the. Oh fuck. Okay.
Can I guide myself since I planned on doing this?
Sure.
Alrighty. That is the sure of like you'll need it.
You can certainly try.
You can.
Yeah, that's gonna work. 8. Wait. That's a
9.
Oh, you were right there.
strong 9.
So you step up, lay a boot into the statue, and it does not move. You hear slight cracks on the surface, but it's rooted in there.
Hey, careful.
Robbie
With
says be
kicking.
careful with kicking.
To be fair, I'm not touching it. I'm touching the thing. Is there any way that I could try to help this? I could.
Can I?
So
Oh, never mind.
spells are probably a bad idea, right?
Okay.
Can I just pull out my crossbow and shoot at the orb to see if I can just like push it by force.
Sure. It is only exposed from the front. So you're
So
shooting
there's
it.
no real purpose.
Yeah, you're basically shooting over Robbie's shoulder.
Okay.
I mean, you could try and dislodge it.
I wish I had a 4th level spell slot.
Yeah, I'll try to dislodge it.
I know stone shape, but I have no 4th level spell slots anymore.
Let's be
All
like,
right.
look out!
Make the attack.
Jesus.
You hit the salt. Roll damage.
Okay, we're like 5 seconds away from just crumbling the rest of this statue and this thing just dropping into the floor and no clipping the whole world into it.
Okay, Lara, how long will Robbie be here for us?
Some of the material around it chips away.
I feel like you guys were gone shopping for a while, right?
It's about half an hour.
He's probably got like 25 minutes left.
Okay, that's what I thought. So that won't help. I need about an hour. I can do a thing, but it'll take an hour, but Robbie won't be here. Okay, I mean, you weren't gonna drink anyway, right? I mean, you don't need to drink. Okay, so I take I take one of the water rations,
okay,
and I pour it out. And after yesterday, I changed one of my cantrips to shape water, and I will make a club out of ice. So I pour out Lyra's water, and I shape it into a club and freeze it. And I pick it up, and I think about it, and I pass it over to Omen. Perhaps you would be better at this. Do you want to swing this thing at the orb? I mean, I could, but maybe you would be better than me at doing this kind of thing.
You want to hit the thing that suck all the water out of here
Well, I mean,
with
this thing didn't.
a water stick?
Well, I mean, it's ice.
Well, are you sure?
Yeah. I mean,
It could have been this as well, no?
the work that happens is it disappears out of your hand, no? I mean, just go ahead and try it. I mean, Lyra wasn't going to drink that anyway. Probably. And we can try this.
I won't.
And if this doesn't work, then we can try the magical sword.
Give me it.
Okay, Omen don't want to. I'm now. You can club the shit out of it.
I could try with my shadow, but I don't want to do it.
Oh, yes, better.
Do your shadow attack with real weapons and things?
Well,
What if-
I think if I hold it, because let's try. So I'll put my maul away, and I'll hold the ice chunk.
Look at Drew's face doing math.
The ice club.
Yeah, it's the
Numbers, lore, math.
Ice club. Does it do enough momentum?
it's the Winona Ryder, like.
Does it transfer enough kinetic energy before it disappears into the negative energy plane?
I do have crusher feet, so it might.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's true.
I chose the right dude unknowingly.
Attack the orb with the ice club. Just do it.
Just
Natural one.
when the
Natural
DM's
one.
like, just fucking swing.
What do I roll? Just a d20?
It's an attack roll with a club.
It's an improvised weapon.
It's a club.
Look, John,
I made a club.
quite literally improvised. It's a cantrip. Come on.
Yeah.
So should I just do like an unarmed strike, or
So, improvised weapon is
just
are
my
you-
strength?
Just your strength. I don't believe.
Okay,
your
I'll just make a strength check then.
Yep, just strength. Okay. You hit it. Or your shadow hits it. And the club disappears.
It also disappears from my hands too.
No, he was doing it himself, not the shadow.
Oh, so you were swinging.
I was doing it. No, I was. The shadow was swinging it, but
Oh.
I technically I swing it, but
You-
then it
so
goes
will
into
you-
the shadow's place.
Yeah, so the way that I had seen it was you swing, it then is where your shadow is, and your shadow has it at the time it
gotcha.
hits.
Okay.
So
Yeah, pretty much.
the shadow hits it, you see a puff of steam that is quickly sucked into the orb. Have your shadow make me a dex save real quick.
Oh dear.
Okay. Your shadow is 1 hit point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A spear, or some would say club-shaped spike of salt jets out of the orb, straight through your shadow's head, sticks in the ground.
Through his head.
Through the shadow's head, evaporating it, sticks in the ground, and then kind of cracks and breaks apart.
That's what I thought
Okay.
would happen.
Bad idea 2, electric boogaloo, and I'm gonna cast guidance again, and I'm gonna kick this thing again.
The shadow or the orb?
The
Shadow's gone.
statue.
Or the statue or the orb? The statue.
All right.
Drew, just quickly, do I, with levitate, can I pick something up by a specific part, or does it become the whole thing? Like, for example, if we manage to break off the chunk of salt pillar that's holding the orb, and I levitate that, but not the orb itself, so that the orb doesn't touch the levitate spell and then eat it, do I feel like that would work? Like, knowing the spell, I feel like this is a spell I've known the longest, so...
Arcana check.
It is the first
DM
spell she
doesn't
ever
know.
cast.
Make an Arcana check while I figure it out.
A whole 11.
Roll the dice.
Who's to say? You know the spell really well, but in terms of like, is the spell technically touching the things that it's grabbing? Is there a thing that is doing the grabbing? You don't know. So tough to say. With a 20 for the athletics, you pick the statue.
21.
3-1. Oh, I see. You hear a crack at about the midsection of the statue as the top half of it breaks off and tumbles forward.
Into the box.
The box is not big enough to hold the whole top of this statue. We're talking about 4.5, 5 feet of material.
So we need a slot dexterity check.
We need a slot dexterity save.
Robbie!
You can do it!
Come on, Robbie.
Robbie.
Go.
Let's see. Where are you here? Okay.
What is his dex even?
He has it.
How dexterous? Oh.
So this is for Robbie to try and basically maneuver the box to catch the orb?
No, this is Robbie to get out of the way of the glacier.
Yeah.
Because Emnil has kicked the top of the statue off of the rest of the statue.
Oh, okay.
This isn't like knocking someone's tooth out from behind. Like,
Is he at risk of being hit by the orb?
he very much is, and with that, I need also a charisma save from him.
Robbie!
Can I,
You have
can I
a
as a
-3
reaction reach
charisma.
out and
Are you
levitate?
here? Did you come back?
I've been watching the chaos from a distance, but I have 60 feet
From a
range on levitate and I can double it.
What are you trying to levitate?
The pillar. I don't want to go for the orb, so I guess the pillar that it's leaning on.
Oh crap!
Sitting on.
17.
He's negative charisma, or not?
Negative
but-
2.
-2,
Yeah.
so she rolled a
Yeah.
19.
19.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. The DC's 18.
Oh.
Oh,
Funnily enough.
silvery barbs.
Fuck,
I'm not gonna bet that he can roll better than a 19. So.
Yeah.
No.
Fair enough.
So, Tempest. Since you didn't have this prepared, or readied. Roll initiative For how quick, which I guess is his dex for you.
I never roll good initiative. Sorry, Robbie. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Robbie just, as this thing is falling, I told you. As he tries to dive out of the way, gets caught. You see one elbow swing around as it clips the orb. And then Robbie is gone. The statue kind of crumbles and rolls. Stops. The box drops. Robbie's
Fall
gone.
to my knees and cry out. It was taken too soon from us, Robbie. And then I realize I'm looking up, so I look below and just like bang the grass. I'll bring you back, buddy, after my short rest later. I promise it. No.
Okay, so is the orb just on the floor?
Yeah, is the orb levitating?
The
Is it
orb is still in the chunk of statue.
Okay.
It has now fallen. So it is now
Okay.
face up on this block.
From what I had understood it was being kind of held by its sides because we had carved away in front of it, correct?
Yes, partially. The whole
So
thing
in
wasn't
theory-
showing.
Okay, so in theory, if you kicked it from behind, it should go forward.
Right.
But
It
it's still
goes
too big for the
forward.
box.
With a massive chunk of mineral.
Yeah.
So it's not popping out. It's still in that chunk.
So it's
That whole chunk is falling.
it's still surrounded by stone.
It's like,
essentially?
yeah, so it's like, yeah, I can catch you dropping that ball. Oh, you are also dropping. It's the difference between that. To where, like, he goes, like, he's set up to catch it, but then the stone knocks him down.
Okay, destroy the statue.
box.
Just get rid of the fucking statue, and we'll deal with the orb when there's no statue anymore. I'm sorry, Lara. I know how it is to lose a friend. And he like pets Eddie on his shoulder.
He was a good frog. I don't really know what he is even. I forgot to ask.
And I guess
I'll ask him
you
next
go to,
time.
you notice that not Gerard. That's like riding Eddie like a horse.
That was a slod.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
I just referred to him as Robbie. That's cool. What's the slot?
Yes.
That's not the time for this. Tempest. If you grab all of our shadow puppets, do you think they could just chop away at this thing?
No, we should just break the statue. Just break the statue. Can we break
We
the
don't want to
statue?
get too close.
No,
Can I just?
destroy the
I'm gonna
just
waddle my
stone.
way over now. Can I just reach out to the salt pillar, not the orb, the salt pillar, and just cast Shocking Grasp on it and see if I can just slowly get it to like whittle down? I don't actually know what the effects of lightning on a purely salt pillar are, but I'm curious to see how you roll this.
Okay? Screw you
Yeah.
for making me do all of this.
I love asking the weird questions.
What is Shocking Grasp an attack?
Yes.
It's a touch-based attack.
Touch-based
I can
attack.
send the thing if you would like.
Yes, so roll the attack. Still have to roll that against the DC.
That's the actual spell, and then
Yeah.
I mean, salt isn't insulated. So
14
It's,
to hit.
Unfortunately, Shocking Grasp does specify a creature.
Ah, okay.
So
will
essentially,
not
there's
roll
nothing
then.
to conduct in what you're touching.
I can cast
I
fire.
think all of
on
mine
it.
might be creatures.
okay, we break this. Jew strong peoples. Can we just break the fucking statue until we have just the orb?
Sure.
I
Sure.
gave Lyra the best way of breaking this, so
Okay, Lara. I mean, you're good with swords, right? I mean, do you want to
Okay,
break the statue?
fine. I'll walk over to statue, and pull out my new sword, and take a swing.
Go for it.
with your -1. Yep.
Does she seem less proficient than she used to be?
Bounces off.
Mm.
Ever so slightly.
I'm gonna start folding shadow puppets.
You guys, and starting with Anmail, the highest passive perception, notice that the orb starts to glimmer a bit more.
Oh dear.
The side facing you goes a little dark.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't do that.
Oh, what?
Similarly as it did to when Desiel passed through it.
Do I have time to do something, or is
Yeah.
this just like
Happen
how long
slowly.
did it?
The whole thing was about 20 seconds last time.
Okay, so something might be coming out of it. I can try to dispel it for a while again, or we can put it in this box now. But we have to do it now.
Okay, and to clarify, the only reason it won't fit in the box is because there's too much salt attached to it.
Right, because it's still just within a chunk of statue.
Okay, so can I just cast on a creature? You said, never mind. Fuck.
Why is every spell a creature? Let us hit inanimate objects.
Okay, I just take out like a torch, light it on fire.
Like the salt on fire?
Yeah, just lighting the salt on fire.
This is gonna be green fire.
Damage of a torch. Roll to hit with a torch, which I think is an improvised weapon. I don't think there are stats for that.
How do I roll an
It'll just
improvised weapon?
be. It will just be
Strength.
strength, yeah.
Okay.
And then the damage, I guess, will be your unarmed damage plus a d4 of fire damage.
Okay. Unarmed strike damage. Here you go. And then, and then a d4. These rolls are so good. Okay.
Okay. A small chip of the salt goes off, and part of it into green, kind of sparky fire. So you've scorched the edges of it a little bit. The surface starts to stretch in your vision ever so slightly. The surface kind of flattening into that unending straight line. Slowly. You still have time.
I'm just gonna stand here and keep burning it until it gets small enough to fit into the chest.
Okay. Anybody else?
Can I start chipping at it with my +1 dagger as well?
Yeah, go for
I
it.
can help burn it with sacred flame.
Okay. Does that specify a
It was
creature?
almost a natural 20.
Oh, maybe. Let me see. Damn it! It does. Crap.
Desiel,
Should I roll?
anything?
What was that?
Anything for you, Desiel?
Exactly
Tempest?
what's like? Describe the situation to me at the moment when what everybody's trying to do.
Right. So the situation as it stands, the top half of the statue is up maybe 4.5 foot tall.
Yeah.
Laying on the ground. The chunk with the orb in it is face up. The orb is starting to warp perception for the rest of you, as it did before Desiel came back. Desiel, it actually looks very similar. The kind of stretching of field of view,
Reality, kind of. Yeah.
very similar to as you approach or seemed to approach the black disc.
Okay.
What kind of seemed to wrap itself out. And so Lyra is jabbing at it with a torch, kind of singeing, burning bits off, chipping it out.
Of the salt statue.
Yes, chipping at the salt around the orb. Tempest is hacking at it with a dagger. Is that right?
The magic one.
Yes, with a magic dagger. Nail's trying to, going through his spells, trying to find something that will affect it. What is Omen doing?
Omen
I
will
well.
create his shadow and see if the shadow can pick up the chest and have it at the ready.
Okay. Ooh, does it keep your stats? The shadow?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Has all my stats.
yep. And your strength is plus 5, whatever.
Plus 4.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. So yep, Tempest. No damage, unfortunately. Kind of doesn't quite dig in. Scrapes off. Desiel. Anything for you?
And so this thing is coming out of the gem. This distortion of reality.
The distortion seems to be like the gem itself.
Okay.
Is expanding in your field of vision without actually getting physically bigger.
Gotcha. Fuck me for not having any direct damage spells that won't also nuke everybody in the area. Except for Firebolt. I will try to Firebolt the statue right under the orb.
Okay. Does that specify target a creature?
A creature or object within a
Or
range.
object, okay.
Yes.
So go ahead and roll the attack for that. Yep, and go ahead and roll damage. 17, okay. I need to do some math here real quick. Once again, who can believe it? 6, 4...
The orb has 10 hit points, and Parland has 150. Desiel did 17 points of damage. How many Karkeths are summoned?
What is the molar mass?
Do we have to use
Salt.
new math? Or
I did look up the density of something
salt,
earlier, but
sodium chloride?
not of salt.
No, of black holes.
This party. How
My,
dense are we?
my only damage.
It just kept showing error, too many syntax error for that one, weirdly.
Firebolt, fireball.
Like when you just keep mashing the exponent button.
Fireball, probably a bad idea. So it's either firebolt or magic missile is all I've got.
Yeah, so that's...
I see no problem with fireballs. It would just do 86 bludgeoning.
Well,
fire
so far every fireball I've used has been useless because the one time it actually did damage, you then banish the thing like immediately within seconds. I'm like, well, it actually did damage. Oh, it's gone. Fuck.
The firebolt strikes at the salt, carving away a large chunk and kind of burning, fizzling out more. You see the orb kind of shift, not come out all the way, but just kind of rest against kind of 2 points of the salt, but it's close.
Okay, and is somebody's holding the chest on the other side of the orb? The shadow is.
Shadow is. Yep. And now you can see the surface like black water. The clawed hand reaching out.
Dispel magic.
Okay. Roll, I believe it's wisdom?
Wisdom check, yes.
Wisdom check, yes.
Come on. Oh, it was almost at 23.
Nope.
As I see his spell fizzle, I'll reach out and I'll kind of pull back all of the little sparks that are dissipating into the air, and I will pull them back into Amnail's hand and allow him to roll again.
Told you that I love you today. I have a big old 12.
No, I'm sorry.
I tried, buddy.
I hate this. I hate life.
So, Dazio will pull out Philip's dagger.
Mm-hmm.
One of the magic daggers that we found.
Okay.
And he'll go up to it. And he'll turn and look at Lyra and say, "Do you want to use a sword?"
Okay. Drop my torch and pick up my sword. And I will swing at it. Hopefully this will be something.
There we go. Otherwise, I was about to die. I'm like, well, I'm gonna.
So the funny thing is, this is not only double damage. This is 4 times the damage.
Because it's against an object. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's 24? I mean, not that it would have mattered. Yeah, you swing it down and it hit you. You feel it like hit against a crack that runs like underneath around, and it kind of hooks the blade into the crack and just cleaves this hemispherical chunk that kind of has the orb suspended between it, and it ching, knocks it out. The orb falls to the ground.
On the box.
So the shadow was carrying the box, yes?
Yeah, kind of like
Yep.
holding it behind.
It was
the
at the ready. Yeah.
Holding it like at the ready underneath?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, into the box.
I'll close it.
Okay.
Desiel
Tells
just
me
kind of.
lead doesn't control huge ass demons, but you know, we can dream.
Desiel just kind of falls to his knees,
Oh.
realizing that. Go ahead.
Definitely did not mean to make that a public roll.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. What was that?
You hear a crash as the lid bends outward. And you hear some kind of screech or wail.
Oh.
Do I understand what it's saying?
Oh, not that kind of whale.
I have tongues.
It is not vocal.
Okay.
Or it is not tonal. It is not saying anything.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Does it seem to be contained? Like, is the lid closed?
The lid is closed.
Right.
For now.
Desiel just like drops to his knees, clearly thinking about what he almost did and what the consequences of that would have been, and he just kind of turns to Lyra and says, "Thank you." That's all I'm doing this round.
You're welcome, but we're not done yet. And I like kind of grab you and pull you up.
I'm gonna use my action to cast guidance on myself.
Use my bonus action to cast Form of Dread.
Okay.
Does that affect Desiel?
What?
While you're grabbing him and pulling him up.
You're wise, right? No, I'll wait. I'll wait until.
No. You can totally cast it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm okay right now.
I was just wondering if that
I'm just
affects, if it's like his wings that like allies have
Yeah.
to roll as well.
You're right. I'll save that.
I'm not trying to stop you from doing it. I was just wondering if I need to be afraid.
It's okay.
What do we do?
So I guess she pulls me up.
Pulls you up.
What do we do?
Okay.
Lyra has no active conditions.
I forgot to
to
poison
know.
myself. Sorry.
What? I guess I look at the chest. Does it seem like somebody's trying to get out from inside?
Is anyone doing anything else?
I'm just having the shadow like stay on top of it.
Like lay
Try to hold it down.
on top of the. Okay.
Yep.
I'm just gonna hold an action for Eldritch Blast for whatever comes out.
I'm gonna back away a bit.
Omen, your shadow kind of jolts and shudders as there's another clang. And the top kind of stays bulged out. Doesn't buckle, but kind of jolts a little bit.
Hmm. What do we do now?
Oh, fuck
I'm
me.
not magic-y. I don't know what else to do.
You don't think he
Can
can
we
hold
s-
that for like an hour or so, can he?
I mean, it could stay up for as long as I want it, but I don't think it. It depends on how angry this thing is.
What if we all sit on the box so it can't get out until we figure out an actual plan?
Can we see
Is-
it? Can we see the thing, the claw, the la la la?
It's in the box. Whatever it is
But we
in the
can-
box.
Okay, but I don't have visual on it on this
Nope.
moment.
You can see the box.
Okay. Everyone get away from it.
Okay.
I'll have to stay
wait.
within 30 feet, though. You see, Omen
can
just
stay behind
stops.
Omen? Is everyone away? Has everyone backed up?
Desiel hasn't yet.
I would have pulled you back with me,
Okay, then Desiel has.
unless you resist.
No. He's just slow as he gathers his wits, because he knows that if he had missed with that knife, he would have been banned. He would have been sent to a plane that he could not bring himself back from. So he's a little slow at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, and I will change my form to back to as close as I could get when, like, Desiel came out and I was showing him that monster. So that's
Ooh.
my whole action.
Okay.
Okay. So I am going to ask everyone to leave. I'm gonna hold a spell. And if you allow me a little bit of leeway, Drew, I will hold a third level spell ascending to Lyra. And I'm gonna ask Omen to open the box, and I'm gonna run towards the box, and I'm gonna try to banish whatever is inside. So that the sending goes through once I cast my banishment. Because if this doesn't work, this is gonna suck.
So you can't cast two spells. I mean, basically, this is to the point of it's two leveled spells on a turn.
My idea is not that it's gonna take one turn. It's gonna be 2 turns. I'm
Okay.
holding a spell until my turn ends. As soon as my turn ends, I cast it. It goes off, and then it's my turn again, and I cast banishment.
Okay. That's under the presumption that no one else is doing anything between those two actions.
I'm just asking Omen to, as soon as I get close to the box, that he opens it a little bit, just so that I can see inside.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So
As soon as the box.
I will do the moment he opens the box cast, because after 42 episodes I might as well cast the basic wizard spell. Whatever Mnail's trying to do to this thing, if I see a thing when he opens the box, I will finally, for the first time ever, cast magic missile at it.
Okay. So you're holding
to try
once
and
you
keep it in the
see-
box while he does whatever he's trying to do.
Okay. Okay. So I'm now. Firstly, is everyone in agreement on this? Okay.
Letting him do his thing.
And then you take a deep breath. Hands at the ready, you plunge forward. The shadow, as you approach, break the box open. And immediately, this clawed hand erupts outward the arm extending several feet up into the air, cloying out. Your message goes through. What is your message?
You know I love you, right?
Fuck you.
Okay. And then you attempt to cast Banishment.
Yes.
Okay. Which is a Wisdom save?
A charisma save
Charisma.
of 16.
Okay.
Yes, Kendra, I feed on psychological trauma.
I hate you so much right now.
Does my magic missile go off?
The magic missile does go off. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yay. 4
Depending on how this goes, I'm gonna cast Silvery Barbs if it
Don't I get
succeeds.
a dart? You create
As
3
the
darts.
banishment fails,
That's only 1. So I gotta roll 2 more, I guess.
Silvery Barbs.
2, and then I
on
guess
the
1.
second roll, it rolled a natural 1.
Oh, yes.
The first was a 19.
Oh my god.
As you feel
I'm
this
literally-
extra buoying of divine power, as the hand reaches up, and just as it again shreds Omen's shadow to pieces, denting the outside of the box, the arm disappears. You hear the orb clunk, clunk, clunk in the bottom of the box.
I get as
Omen.
far away from this fucking box.
Omen will rush over, slam the box shut, and then he'll teleport 30 feet away. And as he does teleport, his body turns this ashen gray, kind of this ghostly visage as he teleports. And it stays for 6 seconds. And then it goes back.
Real quick, I will need, just as the box opens, and as it goes away, I need everyone within 30 feet. So it would definitely be him now. The
And
shadow is
Omen.
gone. And Omen. And who else would be within 30 feet?
I would have been in like
Okay.
range.
I was gonna ask if Lyra is, then I am, because she pulled me back. So
I'm the only one standing 60 feet away.
Yep, you were quite specifically a ways back, yep. All of you to make Constitution saving throws.
wizards are
Is this
great at
because we're
those.
frightened?
What's that?
Is this because we're frightened?
No.
Damn.
What do you mean
That's a
frightened?
big 6.
Okay. So everyone except Omen.
And I rolled an 18.
I know.
Okay. Well, holy shit.
Oh, shit.
Will take 19
Well,
points of necrotic damage.
It's just from seeing it? Jeez.
19 of necrotic.
Of necrotic, and Omen will take 9.
I also
I'll
take
take
9
half
because-
that as well because I'm resistant to necrotic.
Yeah,
Okay,
me
that's
too.
right.
I'm
So-
resistant, so I take 9.
So 9, 4, and then 19 for everyone else. And then after that wash of just this soul-tearing feeling washes over all of you, appears the orb, collects at the bottom.
I mean, I know there's no way to tell, but do we get any sense that this thing is just going to keep recharging? Like, if we just keep it in this lead box, this is just going to happen again and again?
You don't have much a sense of anything of what has just happened.
What are we gonna do?
This thing was coming out before the orb went into the box, correct?
Correct.
And the box is still open?
The box kind of, its
Okay.
broken lid kind of slaps down on it. The side of it's kind of bent out, so there's a hole.
Did we try to destroy the orb without magic, or we only use magic to try to destroy the orb? Or we haven't tried to destroy
We
it at all?
haven't tried with magic. We tried only with physical attacks.
No, he
Okay.
he attempted to
Before
dispel
you
it.
came out of the bag.
He dispelled.
Yeah, but
the magic.
dispelling's not the same as destroying it, right?
I mean, it could be depending on the
I attacked
item.
with a sword.
Yeah.
It went
Really?
through. That's how we found out it was kind of liquidy. I know it's very much not making eye contact towards Lyra right now.
Does
I
it,
tried to put the sword through it. It didn't work. It turned to liquid.
does
I
Yo
tried to shut me somewhere.
like reaches a hand into his component pouch and pulls out a couple of lodestones and just kind of holds them out to Mnael and looks at the broken lid of the box. I haven't not been studying this because I've seen Joe have been mending things. Or
You are the luckiest son of a bitch in the world, because I was going to. I changed one of my cantrips, but the one that I almost took out mending.
but you
I
took out
changed
thaumaturgy. You said thaumaturgy, so I'm
Yeah.
like, he might still have mending. I don't,
Yes.
because I stopped having mending after you started having it. So I'm like, okay. So he's kind of like,
Yeah, no. I have mending. I'll take a minute, I guess, to cast mending.
Okay. You can mend the box. The ruined lid kind of clumps back up together. The side pulls in with a groan. The latch kind of flops on top of the lock point.
What are we gonna do? I mean, I have a feeling this thing is just gonna keep pushing out stuff to kill us, and I'm like grasping my arms, or I don't know, wherever I'm damaged. I feel pretty hit by just staring at its arm. And what if it comes with friends? Like,
there's no way to know. I mean, it was already coming out before it ended up in the box, so there's no way to know whether or not it will come out again. Now that it's in the box, except to wait and see.
Omen, you were here with. Who are you here with again?
Who are you?
I'm Harlan's right-hand man.
Sorry, what?
Who did you? I saw you in the tavern with people. They were wearing cloaks.
Oh. They were just, the priests of the Raven Queen, and
Okay, priests. So maybe they know how to like deal with this situation.
I mean, I'm the elder.
maybe.
I know, Amnil, you're a priest, but like, you're not really practicing right now, are you? I'm just kidding. Fuck. I meant like they're priests of the Raven Queen. Maybe this is a Raven Queen thing. That's what I meant. I'm just ow. Oh my gosh, I'm so hurt.
I'm going to cast Healing Word at a second level at Lyra.
The squeaky wheel, motherfucker. Suddenly, Desiel's like, oh! No, I'm just kidding. Desiel's too busy trying to concentrate on trying to remember what he remembers. Drew, would it be an Arcana check? Do I have any idea? I mean, you can just say no. I probably wouldn't.
It could be an Arcana check. I'm not even gonna say not an easy one. It's gonna be a natural 20.
Yeah, this is one of those Drew's like, sure, roll a natural 20.
No way it's gonna be that high.
18. Apparently didn't save me from taking damage. So.
You're aware of now of ancient stories. Not things in plainer textbooks about the nature of the planes and the way things work. This is folklore and legend of necrotic beasts that crawl from the negative energy plane to eat and to destroy. And known by different names depending on what they, what texture reading, what time period. But these exceedingly rare creatures that seem to appear sporadically through history during particularly important events. During large wars or the crumblings of empires, these stories exist on the fringes of Nightwalkers. That's all you really know.
So no relation to them showing up when planar travel happens or anything else, just they show up sometimes and people are like,
not
oh shit.
Specifically. The circumstances under which they appear are very murky. There are things about rituals of nature magic, of arcane, of travel between, travel to and from the negative energy plane, but without further study,
Sure. Yeah, it
it's very sporadic.
Getting into kind of rare knowledges here. I mean, to be honest, I got no fucking idea. My best. I mean, perhaps we don't put it in the bag yet, and we see if they come back. Now that they're trapped in the box, maybe the thing does not do anything. And maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this shit is beyond me. This is not a time. This is not my specialty. I'm trying to learn more about planar travel, obviously, because it seems pertinent to our circumstances in the past few months. But these things, I mean, they show up sometimes. I have no way of knowing the circumstances. I mean, people say it's like the students with Tempest in the library. Like all they know is some shadow demon showed up. They don't know who did it or why, right? And so people are like, "Oh, holy shit, this thing showed up," and they don't think to put it together and say, "Oh, these were the circumstances." So now we know one circumstance in which this thing showed up. If it shows up again, then perhaps we can add to the knowledge of the universe. But at the moment, I don't know.
We know anyone who would know? I mean, maybe we just take this box and go find somebody who can. I mean, we're next to a town full of innocent people. Heavens forbid something comes out of the box and just destroys everything. Like,
I was going to ask Denier about Shar, but I could instead discuss with him the matter of these creatures, if you think. I mean, that is more immediate, no?
okay, so the immediate plan of action is we're all just gonna sit around while you get information.
No, we don't have to sit around. We can take it somewhere.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, instead of putting it in the bag, because if we put it in the bag and these things come out, then we don't know. But then they'll be trapped in the bag. So I don't know if that's a bad thing. And they can come out, but then they're trapped in the bag. Maybe they don't come out at all. And the plan was to put the lead box in the bag, no? The question is, if these things keep coming out of the box in the bag, then they'll be trapped in the bag.
Drew, it was already starting to come out when we took it out of the salt?
Yes.
So we can put it in the bag like we planned, and if they come out, then they come out in the bag. Good, bad, I don't know. Or we keep it out with us. I mean, if we had a carriage and a couple of horses, like, then it would be easier to carry this thing around. But
I mean, if you let me rest for a little bit, I look over to Tempest. I can get a horse.
I mean, I would not mind resting for an hour, and we could see if these things come back within the hour before we decide what to do with it.
We have our cart still. We could put the box on that.
Okay.
Take it somewhere.
Oh, Juto have a cart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the circus cart. The public cart, whatever.
But which direction do we go in?
I did not have a plan. I mean,
Can you try to contact your god?
we could go north. We could just start heading north, away from town, and see what happens.
Or what?
Well, I don't know. I just think it's really suspicious that this orb came, right? And the statue of your god was right in front of it. Like, that has to mean something. I feel like we're brushing past this way too fast. Maybe this is like a key to whatever this orb is.
Okay.
There was a statue of me, not necessarily my god, I suppose, but
It was the same position I saw your god in.
So, Lyra.
Dezio, do you think maybe you're not that I don't want to complete your request, but don't you think you might be able to ascertain more information about it?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was going to commune, I guess, with Denir and seek information about Shar, but this seems perhaps a bit more immediate, and I could attempt to find out things about these creatures. And tomorrow, ask about Shar, or the orb itself, yes. Either way.
Alright, Tempest, we'll go grab our cart.
And we
We'll
start
meet you
heading
back here.
north, no? Because you wanted to go to Ravenos. Lyra.
I don't know what to do anymore. Let's just start with this.
Yeah, I mean, we take the thing away from town. North,
Yeah,
south, east,
yeah.
or west. And so we might as well go
Yes.
north, because that's where you wanted to go anyway.
Okay,
And if
sure.
things change, we just change directions.
okay.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
Unless you're the only one who had the direction to go, and it was north. So we just follow your lead and go north to Ravenos.
Okay. I'll just kind of start walking towards Tempest, but stop by Am now really quick, and I'll lean in and try to say to you, like, I'll bring you closer to me because you're really tall. Listen here, buddy, pal, friend of mine. If you ever get yourself banished to some creepy-ass planet or back to your home, I will, while I'm alive and I'm not dead again, if I'm still alive, I will pull you back immediately. Just know that. And I push him away and go grab Tempest.
Why did you not pull me back?
I'll walk over to Dezio and I'll put a cure wounds on him.
I mean, I just assumed I was right there because I was next to Lyra. Anyway. Oh, thank you.
Tempest, shall we go?
She'll walk beside you, but quieter and further apart than she normally walks. I think.
I changed it back to Lyra too, by the way, and
You don't just walk through the town like
no.
I mean, now you got a good look of it. You can impersonate it real good.
Yeah,
Get a good
I
look
heard
at
its voice.
arm.
Yep. I'm slowly building this creature in my mind. If I notice Tempest is walking a little bit far from me, I'll try to like reach out to hold your hand. But if you brush me away, I won't push it.
She won't brush it off, but it's more like she's just letting it be held rather than holding it.
Okay, that's fine. And we'll go
Alright.
get our cart.
You guys go get the cart.
Is not Gerard still in existence? Like, is he still on my shoulder with Eddie?
I don't think so.
I don't
No,
remember,
I
don't
think he
remember
only
how long it
lasts.
lasts.
It doesn't last that long.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh.
But if we're
Just
splitting,
realized
she'll
that.
probably leave another one.
Does it, again, attempting to be stealthy about it?
She probably just drops it. And it'll like peel itself off the ground and march around.
Are you well, Omen? Do you need a bit of healing?
I'm fine.
Very well. I'll walk over to Desiel.
As
And I'll just.
as
Oh,
you walk
sorry.
over, Desiel is putting a little copper wire away in his pouch, and he had just was looking in the direction of Lyra and Tempest, and he had cast message to Tempest, and he just says, "It's okay, Sylvie."
No response.
As you guys get back with the cart, we're going to end there for the evening. So come back next week to see where they head next, what they decide to do. Sounds like we might be heading up to Ravennas, maybe not. Come find out next week. Join us here Saturday at 7 ET.
PK.
What's that?
PK. CPK. CPK.
I like the sound of that.
Or split, so it can't be a TPK.
I just bought this wig. Okay, I'm not dying again, right?
Separate white.
Yeah.
Just play another changeling who happens to look the same.
Yeah.
Or a
Come on,
mixed
last
character
twin.
with the exact same
John,
hair.
John, Kat, and Kendra in Wish You Were Here, an advanced 5e game.
Sponsored by Ian Publishing.
Sponsored by Ian Publishing, that's right. And then
We
loop
do
around.
crime.
There's crime involved. It's a lot more whimsical what I'm getting. I haven't been able to actually catch one live yet. I feel
Less
bad
emo.
about that, but it's
Yeah, I'm in love.
It's fun. Oh yeah, that's right, she is. Yeah, she is.
all right. So come see how that happens. This Saturday, next Tuesday, join us for Call of Cthulhu, which is competing in terms of the dire straits for the party honors this week. And then here again, Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern Time.
Or ZBK.
For ZBK. Thank you to Syrinscape. Thank you to Animated Dungeon Maps. Thank you to Midjourney AI, whose name I forgot for half a second because my brain is fried. Thank you all for coming, whether it's evening, morning, afternoon, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Good night.
Midjourney helped me with the